I think I might be live. YouTube is not saying that I am, but the little counter is going, so I think I'm live. So if you can see me and hear me, let me know. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday to you, all my Zen friends. Hope you're having a great weekend and that you're enjoying your beautiful, beautiful moments. As usual, I am excited about see what messages come through from Spirit, see what we can learn, how we can grow. But before we get into all that, let us bring in some beautiful energy through the singing bowl. I'll hit it twice. And as we do that, just imagine a beautiful flow of love flowing down from above, flowing into our hearts, filling us up, our emotions, our thoughts and beliefs, into our energetic fields, our chakras, our auric fields, our meridians, into our bodies, our organs and blood and muscles, joints, everything, our being, and flowing out to the world, filling us up. And then letting it go out to the world to see what it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet, because we know it can use all the help it can get in raising the vibration. As we're doing this too, if you want to immediately start raising your own love vibration, thinking of one thing that you're grateful for in this moment, sincerely thanking the Creator for it. Imagine it, feel it, the emotions around it, and then thank the Creator for it. Magnetizes us to receive more of what we're grateful for, but it also puts us in that energy of receiving messages from Spirit, and our love vibration zip goes up, up, up. So if you'd like to join me, I'm going to take a big deep breath for a moment, hold it for as long as you feel comfortable, or release, and then we'll go into the singing bowl. So here we go. Big deep breath in. Come back to the now. And we are grateful. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Of the energy. All right, let's put this up on its little throne over here. And we will get into it. So welcome, everybody. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome, welcome. I've got a great group of Zen friends with huge hearts, great senses of humor. Definitely two things I appreciate, but also that are helpful on our adventure, our little human adventure. So welcome, welcome. There's always room for more Zen friends. So you're welcome here. Today I'll be using this Ocean Tarot deck. It's one of my newer decks. I love this. And the whole process of how readings work are all down in the description box of the video. We do start off with donations first. They get priority. I step out of those free readings, dive deeper into those, meaning we pull more cards for those. You also get a fortune cookie tonight for your first donation. You get an art therapy card, and any additional donations after that, you get one of these Affirminator little cards. So those also are there. I don't have any set dollar amounts. You can use the super chat, or in the description box of the video, I do have my Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and Square if you'd like to check any of those out, if that's convenient for you. After I'm done, I'm on for 3 hours. If I finish donations, then I go on to the free readings. And if I don't get to all the donations, I will complete those same day. But free readings, whatever I don't get to, I don't come back on anymore for those, except on Sundays, which is tomorrow already. Can you believe it? On Sundays, it's a special day. Whatever I don't complete in my morning session, I do come back in the afternoon and finish everything out. Last night, Friday night, we did get to all of the readings, including the free readings. Like Thursday night and this morning, didn't get to any free readings. So it really, depends on what the session looks like, whether I get to the free readings and how many I do. So if you don't want to try in the different sessions, come Sunday morning, as long as I post like my little announcement, like usually an hour before-ish. So usually at least around 10 a.m. Mountain time, I'll put out the invitation, and you can go into it, and the chat's already there. You can start putting your questions an hour early. I know, shh, don't tell anyone. It's a secret. And then, so anywhere from 10 a.m. until I close the session at around 2 p.m., as long as you get your question in there, I go eat and hang out, come back, and I finish out everything. So be sure to come on Sundays if you want to make sure to get your message from Spirit. All right, so I think that's all the blah, blah, blah. Let us get into the readings here. So we'll start off. We do have donations. We have 4 from Nelia. Hey, Nelia. So there'll be 4 from you, and then we'll go to Red, and then to Deb. Hey, Deb. And hey, Victoria, everybody. Good to see everyone. So we will definitely jump in and see what we have going on. So let us get started here. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but it escapes me. It must not be important right now. All right. So we are set. So we will, timestamps. That's what it was. I always, when I finish the session, I do put a pinned comment, and I list all the timestamps for all the readings I did complete. So all you have to do is click on it, and it will take you right to your reading. So that is how that works. So there we go. All right. So Nelia, let's get this party started. So you are starting right off at 8 minutes. So that is you're live. Yay, good to see you. All right, well, let's jump in here. We'll start off with your first donation. Thank you for that. And the hot dog. So let's see what we have going on here. Want to know if anyone or anything is coming your way, and anything you need to know, whatever else Spirit has to say. All right, let's take a look here. Let's get these activated into your energy. All right, so anyone or anything on its way towards you? Okay. What do they want you to know about this here? Okay, don't really want those, but I do want this one and that one there. All right, let's see what we got here. Party. Wanted to scroll down so I could see your comments there. All right, well, bottom of the deck, we do have the 6 of Pearls, which that is an energy of childlike energy, play energy that is coming in here. And it's funny because I've got all this underneath that. We got all this little mother-daughter playful kind of energy, like inner child, playing with the inner child, like party, but play date. It kind of feels like what's headed your way here. So it's an opportunity to express your inner child, play, get out of the seriousness of life. And I feel like that's the underlying energy. Let's see, anyone or anything that's coming. Let's see what this is about. Do you have the 8 of Pearls, which is the 8 of Cups, along with the 5 of Spears, the 5 of Swords, and the King of Coral, the King of Wands energy that comes in here. I do feel like there is this choice energy with all this, because the King of Wands is about, get out of our head and away from expectations, what everyone else is expecting to do and say and blah, 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 and decide what is it that I want and where do I want to invest my energy. We have the Five of Swords, which is conflicting energy, and the Eight of Cups, which is leaving behind. It can be leaving behind emotions that don't serve you anymore. But this Eight of Cups, it feels like there's this leave behind relationships, conflicting relationships that don't serve anymore. And it's time to go play. It's time to go find new playmates, people who are more on the higher vibrational that you mesh more with, kind of like leaving behind caterpillars and finding more butterflies, because you're not who you were before. You don't like the same things anymore. And so there's a conflict that comes up because you've changed, some people might even say, and you're like, you're right, I have. And so it's okay to kind of back away from the amount of energy you're spending with some individuals, and that gives you the space for new playmates, to individuals that are more adventurous in higher vibrational joy, and things like that, right? Yeah, exactly. Well said. You want to find people that match your energy. And I like that. Let's see what else they have to say here. You have the High Priestess, which new moon energy. So I feel like with this, especially this Leo new moon coming up this next week, I believe so, because we go into Leo on the 22nd, and I feel like the new moon is a couple days after that. So we really get a lot of energy around this, having that bravery, that courage that the Leo energy brings to go out and share your energy. You might even see if there's any new moon rituals or anything, celebrations that are happening around, just as an idea. But I like that. And then you have the Ace of Coral, the Ace of Wands. So new energy, new motion, new action. So definitely getting out and finding them. If everyone's waiting for everyone to find each other that match their energy, then it's like, what was it? Introverts unite at home by ourselves with no one else around. That's matching my energy. We all are the introvert meeting. It's all independent by ourselves at home with no connection. But if you want to find them, we need to go out and look for them. Follow your passions, you will meet them that way, is a way to say it. And you have the Eight of Spears, the Eight of Swords, which is like the Eight of Cups, but it's leaving behind the thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve me anymore. Old ways of thinking that used to make you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted. So I like that energy here for you. And underneath all that, you have the World card. Yeah. The ending of an old cycle, the ending of old things, the beginning of new energies as well. So I like this for you. It's the beginning of a new adventure that follows after that, with a world of possibilities, not expecting it to be a certain way, but just kind of putting it out there. Even do like a little ritual or a little meditation on, I'm putting out a beacon, a homing beacon to my homies, a homie beacon, HOMIE, putting out a homie instead of homeen. It's a homie beacon, drawing my homies to me and me to them. And I like that. So there you go. I like that. That's what's coming towards you right now. Let's start off. Your first fortune cookie will be from this new deck, which is Art Therapy, just in case anyone wants to see this. I think it's on sale still on Amazon. Guided Art Therapy by Emily Sharp. And they're great. There's 75 cards. So let's see what your fortune cookie is here. I feel like we're being drawn to this one. And it is card number 32. being being seen, and then it says an acrostic. I'm sure or acrostic. I don't know. We'll see what this is. The goal for this activity is to explore who you are. So writing is the medium, and time commitment is only 30 minutes. And it says instructions: write your name vertically on paper. Oh, that must be what an acrostic is. It's when you put all of your name down the page on paper, and then for each letter of your name, pick a word that starts with that letter and describe who you are. Write the word horizontally, starting from that letter. So, like, Zen, Z, zany, etc. Write the word. Okay, I said that. Create a second acrostic for how you think others see you. Ooh, interesting. And then in the margins, create small symbols to go with each word. See whether you notice those symbols coming up during your day. They give an example of what it looks like here. Let's see if I can do it here. So it's kind of like this. I don't know if you can see it. It's not really that clear. Sorry. A little blurry. But explorative questions you can ask yourself is, how do you feel about this acrostic? I'm probably mispronouncing it. Do you notice similarities or differences between how you see yourself and how you assume others see you? And which word stands out most to you? And how can you bring this word into your life today? Wow, I like that for you. So that's for your first one there. I like it. I like it. So thank you for your first donation. For your second one, the Black Kitty Cat. Thank you for that donation. You want messages regarding your current workplace and anything you need to know. Okay. All right. Got that one and that one. Oh, okay. And those evidently. And then will you retire there, right? Or will you have a new job? And anything else Spirit wants to say? I feel like that's what they wanted down here. Just to make sure anything else. I thought there was at least one. And they don't want any of those either. Okay. We got that. Bottom of the deck regarding work. You got the King of Cups, the King of Pearls, they call it here, which is a balance between head and heart. And I do feel like there is like an energy, like in the outside world, of something that just matches your head and your heart. So I feel like your heart isn't really in the job that you have right now, but there is something out there that does match both that you'll eventually come across. So we'll find out about the retirement. I think there is something else here for you. But let's see what else they want you to know before we jump into that. Yeah, Chariot. Power of choice. That's a movement energy. You have the Hermit. There you go. Hermits unite. This could be something more with major arcana. It could be something that you do from home. So it can be either a home-based business, or it can be somewhere where you can work from home as well. Something you do from home. I feel like there is an opportunity that could be coming up where you find a job that you can do that. It's a good balance where you can work from home or you can go in, but you have that flexibility. That sounds like a great job. You also have the Nine of Spears. So we've got the Nine of Swords with the High Priestess. And we also have the Justice card here too. So there's this balance of energy with all this coming in here, because the High Priestess is a revealer of hidden things. And again, very hermity, very at home in her High Priestess temple. But the Nine of Spears is the Nine of Swords, which the hidden and the unknown and going and doing something different that you haven't done before. I feel like that's what this new balance is. You've been changing, you've been altering who you are and releasing fears. And seeing things from a higher perspective. With this energy, I kind of feel like where you're headed and what this offers is going into doing something new, something different from your norm. And before you wouldn't go for this because you're like, no, I need to make sure I'm good at it. And I like being the expert. I don't like being the newbie and feeling stupid like we do when we start a new job or start something new. And we're like, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing, when we're used to being the expert and everyone coming to us feeling like we're the low person. We don't like that. But I feel like you're okay with that. You're getting more and more okay with that, definitely here. And I feel like that's what brings some stuff in for you. So we'll see what else we have here. Um, are you going to retire at the place you're at? Or is there someone new? You do have the 10 of pearls. You have the 10 of cups and the 3 of spears, the 3 of swords. This reminds me of like kind of the 3 of wands, where you're like, we're going aboard a new ship. And that's kind of energy I felt when I looked at it. Because it very much is like, in fact, that it feels like that is supposed to be the 3 of wands energy, because it's usually 2 and 1 is the 3 of wands. Maybe they forgot that the 3 of swords is usually stuck, or I guess that could be because that ship looks like it's sinking. So I guess that could be, but it is about, with new knowledge heading a new direction. I really feel here into something that brings you joy, so you can continue to do what's expected and be living and existing, or existing really, or you choose that living feeling and emotion. And I feel like that's where you get to here, and you do end up going somewhere else that feels more in tune with who you want to be and who you want to become. What else does Spirit want you to know? Yeah, King of Treasure, King of Pentacles. So there is abundance out there. That's the big fear is, well, there's a belief, right? Well, I would love to do what I enjoy doing and I'd love to follow my passion, but it's usually we don't make good money when we do that. That's a lie. That's like what we're, abundance, um, that definition of abundance that we're given is totally from fear. I need to have so much to make sure I'm secure. And it's like, no, I like, I quote it every once in a while. Daryl, I keep on saying Daryl Oates. That's not his name though. Daryl Anka. Yeah, it's because it was it was a music artist. I think it's like Paul Anka, but it's Daryl Anka. He channels Bashar, a alien entity. That comes to him, and he channels them. And one of the things that came through was abundance means having everything you need to do what you want to do in this moment. It's not about every future moment, it's about this moment, and that's the feeling of abundance. But we get so consumed into doing and obtaining more and more and more that we feel like I can't live my dreams because I need so much and I need this and that and that. But really questioning what we really do need, and versus what we are taught and convinced we're supposed to want, that as we clear that out, we can live our dreams and live something totally different than what we've been told we're supposed to, right? So I like this energy for you. Let's see what else they have here for the affirminators. All right, I do want this one. And you've got, yeah, no judgment. Look, Joyville. You're going to work at Joyville. It says, I release myself from any and all judgments. I find my inner critic, call it into my office, and tell it to take a vacation. As it leaves the room, I let out a sigh and begin to enjoy the joy of simply being. Who hired that guy anyway? I love that. All right. So that's what they have for number 2 for you. And number 3, we have the ice cream cone. I love it. Thank you for the additional donation. So you'd like a general on Keen and his girlfriend's relationship. Will they last or break up? Is there a chance that he will like Megan and date her in the future? Oh, excuse me. All right. Let's take a look here. All right. So a general on Keen and the current girlfriend's relationship. All right. Okay. And will they last? Or will they break up? Let's take a look at that. So I'm crunching on my cough drop. And there's the chance that he will like Megan, date her in the future. Okay, based on current energies. All right. Let's see what we got there. Excuse me. Inhaled my cough drop. The Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. You know, that's a good reminder, just knowing that. I heard today, what was it on Instagram? Sorry, I'm closing my eyes and I'm going through my Instagram in my head. Photographic memory. No, slightly, a little bit, but it was that everything is synchronistic, that everything unfolds perfectly for us. And that's what the Wheel of Fortune says. It's the tune of Forest. It's the four tune, but it's like thinking like, oh, there's a synchronicity. We recognize something as a synchronicity, but everything is synchronistic. Everything happens on purpose and with purpose and for us. And even though we can't see it in the moment, but when we're like, wow, when you realize that, then we pay attention more to what we see going on around us, right? So I like that. And I kind of feel like everything happens for a reason. We can trust it. We can go with the flow kind of life. So I like that, right? Inquiring minds want to know, right? Dun, dun, dun. All right. So let's take a look here. What's going on with Keen and their girlfriend's relationship? We do have the Ace of Spears, the Ace of Swords, along with the Devil, Capricorn, Saturn energy. Both very thinking energy. Seems to be conflict, which is always lovely and normal in relationships, right? That's what I think it was the Course in Miracles. It says relationships are designed to teach us patience and unconditional love. But we learn a lot about our thoughts and beliefs and mindsets when we're in relationship with, especially romantic relationships, because we spend a lot more time together. We're more vulnerable usually. More of who we are is seen because they see us at our worst, when we don't have our masks and filters on. And so there is some struggle that's going on here, some clarity, some questioning of old thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. The Devil card is shadow work. So there is a bit of that going on with them as well. Relationships are all mirrors showing us what we want to see about ourselves, right? So we'll see here. Are they going to, based on current energy, are they going to last or break up? We got the King of Pearls, King of Cups. There is a balance between head and heart. And what else we have here? And the Emperor, too. Two really powerful energies here. Divine masculine energies about deciding, but there's a great balance, but also deciding, what do we want to go? Where do I want this to go? It feels like there is I don't know. It's like being at a fork in the road and not rushing to figure out where I want to go and what I want to do with this. So what's on the underlying energy? We have the Sun card. So underneath there is an energy of celebration and joy and light. But it feels like Keen is kind of just a go with the flow kind of person. And let's see where this goes. They're not putting a bunch of intentions of, yeah, I want this to be marriage or this or that, or they're just enjoying it for what it is and kind of taking it as it happens. They're not a big planner, it feels like. And so they're kind of just going, yeah, I know I need to decide, but what's the rush? Let's just take our time. Enjoy the time in the sun. I don't know why I'm getting like this energy of like a surfer dude. Like, yeah, let's just go with the flow. Come on. What are you rushing? What are you worried about? Kind of energy that comes in here. So it feels like right now it's just kind of going along. But what else do we had here is, oh, yeah, we'll find out here a chance. See what the energy is about liking Megan and dating sometime. We'll look at that here. But there is this quote about without a vision. I think it's from the Christian Bible. Without a vision, my people perish. It's like without a goal, without wanting to head somewhere, you wander around and then you perish in the desert because you weren't motivated to go anywhere. And I kind of have that with this. I don't feel like his girlfriend will appreciate that attitude because I feel like she's looking for security and wants this to know that this is going somewhere, not that she's just wasting time. That's where I feel like maybe this conflict comes into, is because she's got these beliefs and expectations of things have to happen and go a certain way, and uh, that's not Keen's way. Keen's way is like, let's just see what happens. Let's just wander and have an adventure. And they're like, I feel like his girlfriend is more in a German voice. We will arrive at the park at this time, and then we will have this lunch approximately 15 minutes later, then a snack, and we will do this, and they like organize, right? Where he is like so much different than that, it feels like. So a little bit of interesting energy that's coming in there. All right, so let's take a look here. Will there be a chance that he'd be interested in um, Megan, right? We got the Knight of Pearls, the Knight of Cups, which is movement of emotion, romantical energy that would come in here. And is there a chance that they would date in the future? Well, we have the Strength card here, this Leo energy. It was interesting as I was talking about his current girlfriend and all these expectations and needing things to happen a certain way. Um, thanks, Silly. It's not a very good. My accents usually end up being Indian for some reason, like from India. I don't know why. I think it's because I had a statistics teacher who had a thick Indian accent, and he cracked me up all the time. But the Strength card, this Leo energy, I feel Keen wants to be doesn't want to be like with a bunch of lionesses, but he doesn't want to be a caged lion. He does want to be able to roam and go on adventures with a lioness, but not a German lioness that has very strict, very big rules, and have that. Maybe I was. I'm sure I was. I'm sure I was from. I'm sure I was a Native American Indian and from India too. I have a strong draw to many cultures. Uh, but I like this, awareness that um, while they're going through what they're going through, Megan can be looking at releasing expectations, all the supposed to be, the should be, the need be, the have to be, the must be, because that's what sucks the life out of a relationship anyway, and that's what they don't want. So if there is this, there's a possibility of this, but if because I feel like that's going to be the detriment of their relationship eventually. There's too many bars that are going up. The lion sees a cage forming and kind of, no, thank you, and kind of steps out. So they won't want to go into another cage. So if that's the kind of energy that's there, then it won't, you know, go into dating. If they pick that up, they're like, I don't want to go back into that again. So something to think about there. Let's see what fortune cookie comes in with all of that. Hopefully that'll make sense. And see what we have here. All right. generosity. It's the energy for Megan here. And it says, I give generously to those around me, no matter how much or how little I have. I know there's more than enough to go around, and that the key is to allow it to keep going around without stopping. If I stop the flow, I'm like the one person at the stadium who doesn't do the wave. So enjoying it, going with the flow of things instead of trying to control everything is a good energy there for Megan. Right, so that's for that one. And then for the fourth one, with your shocked sticker, thank you for your additional donation. I appreciate that. And so any secret admirers in the cast group? All right, we'll take a look here. And then what are Dave's thoughts? All right, let's take a look here, see what we've got here. Any secret admirers? We've got these. Let's underline energy there. And then what are Dave's thoughts about you, and would he consider to date you in the future? Okay, thoughts, date in the future. And then anything else that Spirit wants to say. All right. Okay. So the bottom of the deck, you do have the Seven of Treasure, the Seven of Pentacles, which, of course, the Seven of Pentacles energy is an energy of, kind of going with the flow, but it's last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. Whenever we get a slow moving card, it's about allowing us to things not to come in toward us, to give us the time to raise our love vibration more and more. So since this feels like relationship oriented, it's like, yeah, it's given us time to let go more and more of the expectations and raise it so we don't invite in people and situations that don't match us. We don't want to draw in caterpillars when we're ready for butterflies, right? So I feel like it's given us a little more time with that. And let's see here what this is about, secret admirers. So we have the Sun card, the Five of Spears. So the Sun card is Leo energy again, fiery energy. And this Five of Spears, the Five of Swords, is about conflict. And it's funny because this is the secret. I don't know if there's someone in this cast that you kind of rub. Whoa, and not that way. Like, rub each other the wrong way. Like, you kind of feel like you butt heads a little bit. But there's something underneath that. And there's a secret admirer, but they've learned to, I don't know, they kind of express their ways in picking on someone. But it goes like, it's almost like grade school, how they're taught, the one person picks on the other person, and I think it's even from a movie, like he's just not that into you, but it's like a little girl goes over to her mom after a boy pushed her down, and the mom goes, that means he likes you. So he goes, oh. So they grow up thinking, oh, because people treat me a certain way, that means they like me. And so they are okay with people treating them poorly. I feel like they grew up being told that you treat people this way, and that shows them that you like them. And I feel like, so if there is someone in the cast that you kind of feel like, why are they like picking on me? It's because they secretly admire you, right? That's one. The other one here, you have the 10 of Spears and the 9 of Coral. The 10 of Swords is a lot of expectations on the 9 of Coral. The 9 of Wands, this is about a barrier that keeps it. So there is another secret admirer, but they have so many, this barrier of, I'm not going to live up to expectations, that they won't share it. So I feel like this one, you're not going to have to worry about, because they'll never say anything. The force field is so thick, and they've got such a low opinion of themselves that they would never say anything. Now, you might recognize that and going, yeah, I know who that is. Someone who is kind of quiet maybe, or even voicing that I can't do that. Oh, no, no, it's okay. I'll take this. I'll do this. That's for someone else more talented. It's someone that's always kind of trashing on themselves kind of energy. And that's okay. You're like, no, I don't want to be with someone like that. You're like, I have enough. I've already rescued enough. That was such a loud no. But I've already had enough of those strays. I don't need another one, right? Yeah, and you have the two of pearls. So the two of cups does tell us that there are two people that are secret admirers here. Um, but I kind of feel like that's good with the Seven of Pentacles is you're learning for both of these is I don't want someone that that's how they express they care. And I don't want someone with that energy that's all about low self esteem. I'm not someone's cheerleader or mother, and I don't need to give them all this. So that's why I feel like with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like a no card, like, no, thank you. All right. So that's what they have for that. Let's go on to Dave. Was it Dave? Yeah. So, Dave, thoughts of you and would he consider dating you in the future? So, let's see here. First of all, his thoughts of you. We do have the Three of Coral, the Three of Wands, and the Magician, which this energy is. I feel like their thoughts and the direction that they thought and the attraction they had has taken a turn for a difference here, because it does feel like they're seeing your magic. They're seeing how different you are and have been. I don't know if there's someone that's known you for a while, but they definitely have seen a change in you recently. They're still on the fence with the Two of Spears, Two of Swords, about whether they would date or not, because it's like their head and their heart are at battling. Their heart is like, yeah, 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 yeah. Their mind is like, I don't know. We got stuff to say, to do. It has this this energy of holding things back and um, feeling like it needs to keep the heart on a leash kind of energy. Let's see. There was two more cards about what else you need to know. Let's see if they'll tell us more about this. And we have the Nine of Pearls. It's like self-love energy, and the King of Coral, the King of Wands here. Just feel like for love, they're really focusing in here. The Nine being the Hermit's journey, and the Cups, the Pearls being your self-love, that it's an important time to really look at your own self-love and realize that I'm the love I'm looking for. Everyone else is above and beyond extra. And that's what you've been really working on. And they're like, yeah, just keep doing that for right now. Recognizing that, because with this King of Wands, you'll eventually get to this point where you are at this point of the King of Wands of getting rid of all the old thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and opinions from others that you're like, no, that's okay. You know, everyone clear the throne room, leave all your thoughts and opinions in that suggestion box on your way out. And I'm going to decide what I want. And then once I do that, then I'm going to put energy toward it. But in the meantime, it's just focusing your energy on gratitude for the love that you have in your life of all sorts, and also of focusing in on the love you have had in the past, the things that you've loved in the past. Because it's like you're putting a Christmas list together of things that, it's like, if you ever had a grandparent, it was like, give me a list of things that you'd want, and I will consider that for your gift, and that's what we're doing to the creator. We're showing them what we enjoy. It's like going into that, like I think I probably mentioned it before, going into a bakery. If you point at all the donuts you hate, you get a dozen donuts of donuts you hate. If you point at all the things you love and all the donuts you love, you get a dozen donuts of those that you love. So I like that, because this is what we do. And that's what we can do in the meantime with that Seven of Pentacles, is let me just see the things I love that I enjoy from. It doesn't have to all be romantic either. It's what kind of love do I enjoy receiving? This loving act, this loving situation, and just have gratitude for it. And that's that kind of saving to your shopping list on Amazon. That's another example. All the things that you enjoy, then they're like, ooh, okay, well, now we know what kind of sampler platter to put together. You're craving. Whoa. All right. So let's see what else they have here for you. So inappropriate. All right. Me. You have engagement. Look, a beautiful little picnic between an octopus and a trout or something. It says, today I make the conscious choice to engage with the world in an active way. I'll take a new route and talk to strangers. I'll smell flowers and pet dogs and maybe walk around barefoot for a while if I'm not in a 7-Eleven. 7-Elevens are a convenience store here that you can't walk around without shirt or shoes. At the very least, I'll have a day that's slightly more interesting than average. And at the most, I'll have a startling epiphany or make a friend who will change my life forever. No pressure. I like that. Cute cards, right? All right, so that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your multiple donations. I greatly appreciate those. And good to see you. Sounds like you're going to have some fun adventures for Shizzle. Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right. Bzz, bzz. All right. So, let me scooch in here. Up next, we have Red, and then we have Deb, and then Teresa Horton, and then to David, and then I think one's coming through my phone just vibrated, so I'll be getting a email here in a minute. Yep, there it is. Via the CashApp, and so, and I won't mention your name in case it's different in the chat. So, just throw your name or your question out there. Just say, this is me from Cash App, and then I'll know who you are. All right. So, Red, you are up. Okay, let me grab timestamp. So, Red, you're at 48 minutes even. Let's grab that timestamp here. All right, and thanks for the vibes sticker and the donation. Good evening to you. You'd like a spirit message from JS for you about SD. He's been on your mind lately. Also, should you visit JS's gravesite tomorrow? All right. Let's take a look here. Let's see what we have going on here. So, a spirit message from JS for you about SD. All right, JS, what would you like to know? Okay. All right, those are good. I don't know what I'm just going to share with you that as soon as I said that, I heard JS go, oh, hell, and laughed like it was like a funny thing. Oh, no, you want a message about them? Oh, hell. But then they laughed, so it was supposed to be a funny thing. And then also, what's the energy if you visit JS's grave tomorrow? All right. We'll see what's going on here. It's too funny. All right, Britt. Thank you, Britt. Let me get your name down here. So thank you. You'll be up there after David. Okay, yeah. So it was like, oh hell, kind of energy. So let's see what they want you to know around SD here. So we do have the 9 of Spears. So there are having some nightmares and insomnia. So they must be going through something here. We'll find out more about it. And that's why they're on your mind, because you're sensing energy from them that they are going through a bit of some challenges and it's on their mind. And so it's basically they're confirming, yeah, they're facing their fears just like we all do, but it's important that they're getting to this point, because once they go from the 9 to the 10 of swords, 9 is like they're exhausted. They're almost to the point of, oh, I'm sick of this. I'm tired of trying to please everyone else and screw it all. I just want to be me. Energy, which is what comes next. And they're like, they need to get to that point, is the message from JS, because, there's like, they need to get to this. So it's okay. It's part of the plan. Queen of Pearls, yeah, Queen of Cups. You are picking up on a lot of their energies because you're very empathic. But I have a couple of videos that talk about an empathic bubble and the true gift of an empath. I haven't shared those in a while. I'll throw them out here. Let's see. Where did I put those? I haven't looked at them in a while. Let's see. Oh, it's down here under these. So if I haven't shared those with you before, or just for the sake of anyone, here are those. These are from a podcast I had, just Take 10 was that. And they're like 10 minutes or less. So if you take a look at those, the empathic bubble is how we can put that up there and how we can tell the difference between other people's emotions, and then what is our emotions, what is our inner child's emotions. Also, the thing I didn't mention at that point was that we have a lot of expansion into our past lifetime energies too. So as an empath, you have all this energy that you're picking up. But the gift of the empath, which is where they wanted me to go with this, is feeling other people's emotions. When we call it a gift, people go, oh God, it feels like a curse sometimes. Well, that's because that's just a small piece of the gift. The real gift of the empath is that we can push energy, higher vibrational loving energy out. We can't make people choose their emotions, but sending love energy and pushing out emotional, higher vibrational energy can make it easier for people to choose higher vibration instead of fear. So you can do that, and that's why they're coming up in your peripherals. So when your heart feels achy and it feels like, I feel bad for him and I want to be able to help him in some way, then, that's something that we can do with that too. There's actually another video that I call Heartache, not Heartbreak, but Heartache. And this is that, which I talk more about that too. If that resonates with you, it's like when your heart feels like it's a hose with the faucet turned on full blast, but the little sprayer is turned off and the hose gets tighter and tighter. This tells you what you can do to help send love energy to help relieve that pressure as well. So that's what they want you to know about that, is that's why you're picking up on all this and all that stuff's hitting you. Let's see what else. Yep, the Devil card. They are going through somewhat of like a Saturn return, which is an energy of long-held beliefs being shaken and rattled, and it's for them. So they are going through shadow work, all of that stuff that's happening with them. And so just know that it is, they're not being tortured. This is for them. They need to get to that extremity so that they will go to this, the Eight of Spheres, the Eight of Swords, which is learning to identify and let go of old thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that make him feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted. So they will go through all this. And Three of Pearls, Three of Cups, they will eventually be able to feel true joy, and you'll be able to hear them laugh again. But it's also, this is their spiritual posse. They're watching out. They are surrounded by a great host of beings of unconditional love and light, helping them through it all. So they're not alone, but they just want you to know that, because they're there. They're part of their spiritual posse, as they're also a part of yours too, always by your side. So I like that. So I feel like that's what they want you to know about that. So in visiting their grave tomorrow, they're like, I'm always with you. The moment I left my physical body, I went. It's like we almost can clone ourselves, but we can be in multiple places all at the same time, because there's no time or space. So we can be in one space time pocket for forever, as if we're only there, but we can be in multiple places experiencing it. It's like an octopus. We can be in 8 different places, 8 different times, fully present. And so they've been that way with you. So they're like, you can go visit it. I'm always with you. The grave is just mainly for the people who remain behind. So there's a physical place that they can go and kind of feel like they're there physically with them, but they're always with you invisibly and spiritually there. So they want you to know that. Let's see with the energy. If you do visit the grave tomorrow, you've got the Knight of Spheres, which is the Knight of Swords, which is communication. And they will talk to you in special ways there. They'll give you some physical signs there. They're reminding me of, I was telling a friend, yeah, he will give you a sign. Because I was telling, they were asking about, well, what about visiting their grave? And I go, yeah. And I go, they'll let you know they're there. And I go, oh my God, I feel like there's going to be a dragonfly that comes like right here to your face. And sure enough, when she went to go visit, she had to text me right afterwards because she was like, oh my God, I've never seen a dragonfly there before. But while I was putting flowers and rearranging stuff, this dragonfly came, hit me in between the eyes and knocked me back on my butt. And then they were like, hey. So it's going to be something, I feel like it's going to be very obvious that they're giving you a sign if you go visit it tomorrow. That's hilarious. Yeah, and they have the Chariot. Again, there's movement, energy that's here. Power of choice, Cancer, moon energy that's here as well. But they're like, the choice is up to you. I'm always with you kind of energy. I feel is what they wanted to reaffirm with that. They got the Hanged Man energy. Very much, the Hanged Man is Neptune, Pisces energy, and the Chariot is Cancer, of course, moon energy. A lot of emotional energy. Again, I feel like you'll pick up a lot, of energy, a lot of emotional energy that's there with all of this as well. The Hangman, too, I feel like there's going to be something in the trees that really stands out to you as well. That's there. And you have the Four of Treasure, the Four of Pentacles. That is again, it's a physical, they understand it's a physical place that you can visit them, but it will be expressed there. Yeah, it really did happen. I was like, wow, I love it. I love it that they will show us signs and specific things. But I feel like they show you a lot of different signs already, but they will make sure that there's things that stand out for you actually there as well. So, because they're always giving you different things and different signs and synchronicities. they're just going, you just have to open your eyes. But he's doing like, I don't know, I can't do it, but it's like how you do a Batman and you can like put like these Batman glasses on or whatever, but he's doing that to you. So how funny. All right. And then for your fortune cookie, we're going to go to this art therapy deck. So let's see what else they have here for you. He's a hoot. So what else? Okay, here we go. All right. So breathing and beads. 62. He is a hoot. Goal for the activity is to achieve calm through mindfulness, and this is through sculpture. 45 minutes. I don't know why. Breathing and beads. It's funny. A hoot. Yeah. Hoot. Something about these beads and New Orleans. He's like, what would you do for beads? Uh-huh. He's being funny. Anyway, the instructions are roll small pieces of clay in any color or colors into small little balls, creating a hole in each for the string to pass through it, if you like. Breathe deeply and notice how the repetitive motion and kneading action makes you feel. To string your beads to make a bracelet or a necklace, follow the package instructions to bake and preserve the beads, then string them together. So it's about creating beads, like you can do something like that. The questions, explorative questions you can do while you're doing that is, how did you feel while doing this activity? How did you feel after this exercise? And when could this activity be helpful for you? So I like that. In fact, there might be something about beads at the gravesite when you're there too. Prayer beads or something. But I feel like that's going to be important too. But a nice little exercise, little creative thing you can do, even if you want to make something to leave there behind. You can do that. Right. So that's what they have for you, Red. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. Greatly appreciate that. All right. And then Deb, you are up next. Let's grab your timestamp. We got 101:29. Thank you for that donation. Let's give that a love and a like. So grateful. You're like an ocean tarot for the week ahead. All right. So let's take a look here, Deb. Hey. Thanks. Yeah, I moved my office around again, but I feel like this is going to be it. So I like this setup. And I got my little cleaned out altar over here. I simplified. I got a lot of stuff moved out. So it's that purging, cleansing kind of energy. So it feels good. So thank you. All right, let's see here. For the week ahead, what does Spirit want you to know here, Deb? All right. Got those, and then these. And what else do we have? I feel like we want these two. And this here. Okay. All right, what do we have happening here? Let me just scooch. Yeah, this will be it. Until it's not, but I really feel it just feels like perfect now. You know how you like move stuff around, you're like, move stuff around, and then you're like, everything just fits. Well, for the week, you got the 6 of Wands energy, which is a joy, celebration, victory, a big, VV victory. VV varsity, right? Go back to cheerleading. But I like this energy. It feels victorious. It feels supportive this week. It starts off here with the 9 of Pearls. Really, this energy here of being true to one's own emotions. It's like sitting with oneself, sitting in one's own love energy. So it starts off kind of feeling, it's not really necessarily feeling solitary, but feeling self-contained. Just really sitting in your own emotion. And then it goes off into these 3 cards that are stacked. At the top, we've got the Knight of Coral, the Knight of Wands, Quest for your energy. What's below that? We've got the 7 of Pearls, 7 of Cups. So feeling a lot of different emotions coming in here. And then we've got the 8 of Pearls, the 8 of Cups. So there is this countdown here because you start off with the 9, then you have the 8 and the 7 of Cups too. But all of this has to do with sitting and the quest of stepping into your own energy, your own power that's coming in here. Okay. And it makes sense here that there's this realizing, even though there's all this different emotions going around, that I am focusing on what emotions I want to expand on. And because whatever I focus on, of course, is what grows and expands. Whatever my emotional energy is focused on, it does that. Any mental energy, emotional energy, our manifestation, focus energy, our physical energy, all of it is sending out a message, is attracting that to us, right? And, you know, like we were just talking about with in Reds about, when your heart aches, and um, the best thing that you can do is to raise your low vibration, send love and energy to them. And of course, mama love is very powerful. I feel like it's even more magnified, but it is that energy, right? Yeah, the week of nature, right? So it is good to kind of vibrate, and the videos that I shared, of course, about being an empath, how you can send love energy, how you can push out this love energy. Because when we have our hose of emotion pushing out love vibration, no lower vibrational emotion can come in. It's like a fire hose. When it's on full blast, all that energy is going out, nothing can come in. But when we're sitting with it off, then other energy from the outside world can seep in. That's why, like when you were talking before about it's daily practice, especially in this day and age, multiple daily practices of sending love energy out keeps all that gook from flooding back in, right? So I like this energy. I feel like it's an important week because there's a lot of emotional energy happening all over the place. And so it's very important. Let's see here what comes in after that. You got the Eight of Spears. So Eight of Swords. Now we're moving into mental energy. Yeah, the Ace of Swords. And the Hierophant, which is seeing things from a different perspective. And I feel like this is that you're able to, with this emotional energy, you're also able to share words of knowledge and awareness. You're learning in a lot too, your own self through this journey. But I feel like you can share things with others too, of what you've gone through and how you overcome, and like your breathing and different. I feel like if you share with your daughters, oh yeah, um, I know how that feels, that I went through something like this, and oh God, it just killed me, or I just felt like it was horrible, and it's tough. I know it's tough. And this is some things that I did that helped. If any of that helps you out, but it's a good, from a place of love, and of course, you understand when your daughters just need to vent, or when they're asking for advice, right? Or we can ask that too. Are you just wanting to vent, or did you want Mama Bear advice? So I like that. Some great learning, right? I hear you. We all are. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, a good reminder that everything does unfold for us, that everything goes through cycles with the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Treasure. Everything does balance out eventually. There is always ebbs and flows. That's the thing about this lifetime, right? Is that nothing stays the same ever. It's always moving, it's always changing. But I do feel like one of the messages that I mentioned earlier that I heard today was that everything truly is for us. It is the tune of for us, the for tune. But when we talk about, I see synchronicities, it's like everything is synchronistic. And when I read that, I think it was an Instagram post, I was like, oh my God, everything is synchronistic. But it's just we just recognize some things as it, but everything is in order, everything is flowing, and it is for us. And when we realize that, we can kind of flow with things more as well. So I feel like that's the main messages. Let's see what your art therapy card says. Let's see what kind of mission that they give you if you choose to accept. Like Mission Impossible. Oh, wow. Yeah, I love this. Master number 44. It's all about me. There we go. Everything's a mirror showing us what we want to see about ourselves, right? So the goal for the activity is to increase self-reflection. The medium is a collage, and it's a 1-hour commitment, it says. The instructions are to collect images to create a collage about you. What are your favorite places? Your favorite things? How can you describe your personality through images? Glue the images on paper, and if desired, use a paintbrush to seal them with decoupage medium. As you're doing that, you can have some explorative questions that are, let's see, there's 4 of them. 1, do you notice anything surprising? Number 2, do you feel as though there's something missing in describing you? Number 3, can you name things you appreciate about yourself? And number 4, how do you feel after spending time reflecting on who you are? I love that. Master number or power number 44. So yeah, some death and rebirth going on for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, a lot of, and we got the new moon energy and we're moving into Leo energy. There's so much going on this year. It's just like it's like a rebirth year, right? Everything is just like don't expect something to stay the same this year. It's like constant change, it feels like. But it's good change. It's taking us higher, right? So I like that. Absolutely. I love that for you, Deb. So there you go, my dear. And sending you lots of love. Thank you again for your donation. And we'll send extra love to your daughters, the little cubs. All right. Much love to you, my dear. And thank you again. All right. So we're going down. So we've got Teresa up next, and then we'll have David. And then we will jump over to Britt. And then we did get via the CashApp, we'll have Sean G. We'll be up after that. And then via the PayPal, we do have Maria P. All right. So there we go. Hey, everybody. All right. So that is where we're at. We'll continue down the list. So Teresa, whoops, let's grab your timestamp here first. So Teresa, let's grab that. We'll put that down yonder. There we go. So thank you for the donation. We'll give that a love and a like. And Teresa, hello, Zen. So can you tell you about your new man? Ooh, all right. We'll take a look here. Does he have kids? Why is he divorced? Will he be jealous? Just let me know about him. Dun, dun, dun. Exactly. All right. Let's find out what's going on. We'll get these specific ones, and then we'll see what else Spirit wants you to know, right? So the new man, does he have any kids? Let's see here. Any chillins? Okay, thank you. And why is he divorced? Yes. Let's find out what's going on here, right? What led to that? Will he be a jealous type? Okay, right there. And then what else? What else would Spirit like you to know about him here? We've got these. Let's see. Do you want this, and this, this, and this, and this? Right. Some stuff below the surface. Dun dun dun. It cracks me up. All right. So Teresa, you too, Deb. Enjoy your s'mores. So, bottom of the deck, we do have the Ace of Cups. That is the new love energy. So it's like, all right, this is about them, confirming it, that all this energy is toward them. And I already forgot here. So kids, do they have kids? Let's take a look here. We do have, so we have the Ace of Swords, along with the Two of Pearls, the Two of Cups. Two of Cups. I do feel like they have 2 kids with that Two of Cups. The Ace of Spears. That's funny. That he knows of. There's 2 kids that he knows of. And I don't feel like there's more. I feel like it's just like they're aware that they have two kids. Um, and I do feel like they're from two different people. Um, but I feel like that, like if you ask them, they would say that way. Well, do you have any kids? Well, I have two that I know of. You're like, what do you mean by that? Were you the town whore or what? He's like, no, no, just you're just like, yeah, huh. I was a bit wild in my youth, is what he would say. And like, oh, okay, I get you, I get you. So we have that. Why is he divorced? Right. We have the 10 of quarrel, the 10 of wands, and the magician card. A lot of passion energy with those two cards. Let's see what's below the surface here. The wheel of fortune and the page of spears. Yeah. The wheel of fortune is an energy of the fate's wheel, turning and spinning. It's like he's been on this wheel of learning of endings and beginnings quite a bit with the 10, and the pages are like 11. Endings and beginnings, endings and beginnings. He's had a lot of that in his life, even with magician card being the number one in the major arcana. A lot of beginnings and endings, the 10 too. So 10 and 10 and like one and again a new beginning. A lot of ending and beginning energies. Um, he's a bit much with the 10 of wands. He's got a lot of passion. He's got a lot of energy, and um, it feels here that um, like the spouses he was with and the people he's been with, that he expresses himself through passion and motion instead of emotion, because I don't feel like he has a whole lot of access to his emotion so much as he does his, and then so he expresses himself through intimacy and passion. Well, I feel like they kind of would play a game of manipulation, and if they didn't get what they wanted, they'd cut him off. And so that, of course, is not good, because then that builds them up and they get, you know, it's just not a good situations that came between them here. Um, but it was with manipulative people. I do feel like because they cut him off, and they cut him off not just for like a day or a week or a month, like for months, and they really punished him in doing that, that he ended up, you know, going, well, this relationship is over with, because that's how you show love, and you don't love him anymore. So they would start drifting apart, and then he would drift. So there's a little bit of that energy that's there. So just be aware of that um, it wasn't that he had a loving relationship and he was cheating on him. There was a very manipulative relationships, and he kept choosing these patterns before, and he'd end up doing that. So interesting. Is he the jealous type here? You have the Fool card. Fool card is Aquarius, Uranus energy, more of spontaneity, um, open-minded. I don't feel like they're um, not not a normal jealous type, because of the amount of passion that they give someone, that they do have a strong belief that if you're with me, then you're going to be so happy, because I will make you so happy in so many ways, right? um the only time I feel like there's jealousy is like when we're talking about where, if you're cutting me off and you're giving me the cold shoulder and the cold treatment, and then you're flirting with someone else, then that's when jealousy kicks in. But if we're together and there's all this, they don't see any of that. But they only are aware, if I'm not getting something and you're offering it to someone else, or I perceive you as offering it to someone else, you're right, I'm going to be jealous. So that's kind of feels like, if there's a healthy jealousy, that's probably close to one, right? All right. What else do you need to know about them? Dun, dun, dun. We have the Justice card, very balanced energy. That is Libra Libra, relationship kind of energy. Libra is ruled by Venus. Yeah, along with Taurus. And we've got the Strength card here, Leo energy, fire energy, very, very much their energy. They don't want to be a caged lion full of like, I'm trying to control you and make you be who I want you to be through punishment, like with a whip and a chair, like they do in a circus, and cage the lion. But they are willing to be a lion and a lioness on an adventure, together, but they don't want to be caged. They don't want to be in a zoo either. They want to roam the Serengeti together, but not because they want to be with a bunch of lionesses. They want adventure, though, if that makes sense. But because I feel like they're relationship committed as long as they believe you're in a relationship. But if they feel that the relationship is over, then the relationship is over, like you did with these other ones here. Let's see what else is here. This is very interesting here. Sorry, I'm not paying attention down here if you're talking. Okay. We got the page of Coral, which is the page of wands. Heightened passion. Again, we already kind of talked about that. There's a lot of passionate energy. Let's see, what else do we have here? Do we have more? Yeah, the two of Coral. They like they do like this passion one-on-one with that energy. I just want to see if there's any others here. Yeah. We have Hierophant. Here's other Taurus energy. So very much they love being in relationship and feeling all of this, energy that's there. Again, just to be aware that they haven't been taught to really share emotion, but they share it through passion and through, sense, more Taurus energy of sensuality, all the senses. They will give you this sensory experience. And I feel like, that they'll learn to be able, or once they feel secure and safe, then the heart gets exposed. But I don't feel like they've done that in a long time because of the kind of repeating cycles they've had with the kind of relationships they chose in the past. Sorry. Yeah. So the Hierophant energy, very earth energy. We also got the King of Pentacles and the Four Pentacles. So the solid foundation in the outside world, they really are wanting this nest. They like to create a nest and to create this bond that's there, but they haven't found anyone that's able to keep up with all that. So good energies. I feel like that's as much as that they are wanting to share right now. That's a lot. They're giving you like a big kind of magnifying glass into some things that are very important to know. But it's good that you're going in with your eyes open and what you feel you are willing to accept and etc. But let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too, Teresa. Let's see what we got going on. Okay. Right, I feel like it's this one here. Ooh, art in motion. Here's all that motion. Card number 57. The goal for this activity is to express your voice, so make sure your voice is heard in this situation. The medium is photography and digital art. Commitment is 1 hour. The instructions are: use a stop motion app to create a short artistic video. Create the video by moving objects from around your home or make a video of yourself making art. So stop motion is like it jumps, right? I think. To create the video, take many photos, and between each photo, move the objects slightly. The app will piece together the images into a video. Hint: follow the sample instructions in the app or on YouTube. Like, that's a good idea. As you're doing that, some questions you can ask yourself: can you give your video a title? And how was this process for you? Was there a theme to your video? And did this theme reflect something about you? Very interesting. So that is your art therapy if you choose to accept it. Right, that's what they have for you, Teresa. So thank you again for your donation. I really appreciate that. Hopefully that gives you what you're looking for. All right. So we will continue down the list here. So David, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. There we go. And thank you. Let's give your donation a love and a like there. Thank you so much for that. They said it best. Inquiring minds want to know. All right. So when is Michael going to grow up hair? Puberty? Second puberty? I don't know. Sell the house. He's over his head in and leave the toxic cynic rolling your eyes. Okay. So let's take a look. When is enough going to be enough, right? All right. Oh, thanks for being a new subscriber. Welcome. Welcome, new Zen friend. All right, let's see what we've got here. So when is the bravery going to come in, right? Let's take a look here. When is enough going to be enough? Any idea on, all right, well, we do have a countdown coming in here. It seems to be cycles though, right? Because we've got like, it starts off with one card and then it starts again at 3, 2, 1. It's like this one here is like a previous 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So it seems to be repetitive cycles that they've been in, right? Where in the past it feels like it's gotten, and then, you know, or I'm gonna go and I'm gonna leave. Okay, well, not yet. Not yet. It's like it escalates, but then it comes down. And it escalates, and it comes down. It escalates, and it comes down, right? We do on the bottom of the deck, we do feel here that they've been in this energy here of the Eight of Swords, which is about, you know, becoming aware of my own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that have made me feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small and without testicles, like you're saying. They feel powerless, right? Yeah. So it does feel here like there is this energy of flow, because you think of 8 as 4 on each side, there's this nice flow, and an odd number means there's an obstacle. But this feels like the mindsets are flowing more now. Let's see what the last cycle got them to. It left them off with, yeah, the 5 of coral, the 5 of wands, which is conflicting energy. So they definitely have that conflicting energy there. So they, you know, there's an argument that's brewing or that's happened that's beginning the countdown again that's coming in here. So let's see what these three are here. We do have the 10 of coral. Yeah, talk about 10 of wands. We've gone to depth con 10. It's like extreme amount of burden, feeling of extensive energies coming in here. And this makes sense too, because we just went into Mercury retrograde a couple nights ago in Leo, right? Yeah. So Mercury, the planet of communication, when it goes into retrograde, it challenges us. But Leo energy also brings us a boldness in speaking our truth and evaluating, am I living the life that I am wanting to live? Am I sharing the things I feel I need to say? So there's a lot of speaking up from everyone. So I can see this energy doing something here. Ooh, yeah, the tower, the lightning striking. Ooh, this could be happening very soon here. We got the Justice card too, representing court or legal matters that are coming up here. So it does feel here quite a bit. that there is something that is sparking here that could be with that Tower card, bringing in a lightning bolt that brings things to a head here. So it does feel like there is some lightning strikes happening here. So interesting. It's leading here to the Nine of Coral, the Nine of Wands. This is normally what blocks them from taking action. And they have the King of Treasure, the King of Pentacles, that's coming in here. But and this is it feels like this is the cycle, you know. It's like bam, right? What is the next fight about to be about? Especially if there's, well, I feel like it's court or like legal stuff, like that requires, it could be like selling a house, it can be, leading to things like that where, there needs to be official documentation kind of energy. Doesn't necessarily mean like they're, you know, in front of a jury, that kind of thing. It's like something needs to be filed, things have to go through. But it feels like there is this rah, that comes in here. But then the cycle starts repeating. We'll see if it goes here. But the Nine of Wands is about a block, and it always comes down to money and possession. It's like a threat. Well, if you're going to do this, I'm going to take all of this, and you're not going to be able to have that. It's the threat of the stuff that always stops it, right? Let's see if it does. It gets down to the number 1 here. Yeah, we got the Six of Pearls, the Six of Cups. It comes back down to this. I don't know if they have children involved, but that's child energy. But it's like, it does feel very childish that it gets down to here, about, because I'm just like, I don't know if when you were children, if you don't want to play, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home, or it's my game. You have to play my way. And if not, then you don't get to play. That's the kind of energy I feel comes in here. So it doesn't feel like that there's this change. It does feel like there's this explosion of miscommunication and just the same old. But I don't feel like it's like, when we're asking what's the next fight about, I don't feel like it's anything new. I just feel like it's the energy of being, everyone's irritated with all the energy that's going on, the emotional expansion of energy, the heightened hissiness of saying things that we normally would filter and not say. It's just flowing out, and it's flown out more often. And I feel like that's just why it's escalated. But I don't feel like this. Here's the cycle repeating. Let me see. How long can we have an idea of? Because they're stuck in this loop of codependency, and if they feel stuck with this money and possessions, right? Yeah, Two of Coral, Two of Wands. They could do it. I mean, the Two of Wands is like, whatever I focus on is what grows and expands. And they have the power to leave any moment if they want to, but they keep on choosing the route. And I just don't feel like, why won't they change? What's keeping them? Well, will there be a change? Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. We have the Ten of Swords, all the expectations. And that's what it's going to take for them here. And I'm not seeing, like, when they're showing me, there's not like a one path where it changes here. It's like they're showing all these paths with all these changes at different times. There's so much decisions that have to be made here with that Ten of Swords, because it's like, when they get to the point where this stuff doesn't matter anymore, it's not worth it anymore, when the ugly feeling of staying where they're at um, outweighs the fear of losing the stuff and the attachment to the things and the money and security being based on physical things, then they're like, it's like someone wanting to blackmail you, and now they have no, you tell everyone, here, everyone, guess what? This is what I did. They take away, the power's gone for the other person to keep them, because the only thing that's keeping them is their strong attachment to the physical money, possessions, and they don't want to lose that, because right now they're basing their security and their worth on those things, because the other stuff is so unstable with relationship and stuff. I can't define myself by that, so I'm defining myself by what I have, and it doesn't show anything of the whens yet. It's all cycles continuing, and I don't see I don't. There's so many pathways for them to choose that. When I'm asking them and prompting them and nudging them to find out, well, when, they're like, we can't tell you. It could be tomorrow, or it could be 2 years from now. That's like the range that all this stuff that they're showing me. There's like, they could make this decision and be like, this is it. Could be tomorrow, or it could be over 2 years. It's like not anything that's within a certain period of time. Because when it's that way, then they give that to me. But they're like, could be any of it. It's so many things that still have to unfold. Let's see here with this art therapy fortune cookie if they give us anything else here too. Yes, it definitely would. If well, if if the money was all theirs, yes. If they had to share it, then no. Because it's just more stuff to be attached to. It's like, I want more of it, because they're like, if I'm still with someone, it would go, okay, it'd come from their parents, okay, good, so it would just be theirs. Because if it comes into both of their hands, then they're like, well, if I stay with them, I have access to it all, but if I leave, I only get to take half or whatever. Look at the fortune cookie. Discovering patterns. I don't feel like they understand the pattern that they're caught in, the loop that they're caught in, that this repeating cycle of escalation and sticking around because of it. I don't feel like they're aware of it, but I definitely feel like if the money does come from their parents, that would make a change. So interesting. So discovering patterns, card 56. The goal for the activity is to increase self-reflection. This can give us information about that situation, but everything's a mirror for all of us, so we can all glean from this too, just as a side note. So to increase self-reflection, the medium is photography and digital art. Time commitment, 15 minutes. So the instructions are: create a small drawing on paper, photograph the drawing using the patterns function in the editing app, and as you create your patterns, consider patterns in your life, ones you appreciate and those you want to change. Give your patterns titles that reflect these discoveries. Interesting, right? Explorative questions we can ask ourselves. Did you identify patterns in your life? What patterns do you appreciate? Are there any you want to change? What gets in the way of making these changes? And can you think of any small adjustments you can make today? It's always an interesting thing whenever we ask questions, right? Because everything's a mirror for all of us. So when, like, I read your question, I can ask myself, and we can all ask ourselves the question, when am I going to grow a pair? When am I going to do the thing that I'm afraid to do, right? So very interesting, right? But I love that, them discovering their patterns. I feel when they discover the pattern, and then when they get that money, they realize, here is me ending this pattern. So Interesting, right? All right. Well, that's what they have for you right now. David, thank you again for your donation and welcome. Thanks for being a new subscriber. Hopefully, we'll see some more of you. Hopefully, that helped a little bit. All right. So up next, we'll have Britt, and then we'll jump to Sean G, and then we jump over to Maria P, and then to Aries Rising. And that's, I think, where we're at right now for, oh, nope, sorry. And then Alice. Sorry, just came in down there. And so Alice will be up with that. You're very welcome, David. Thank you so much. All right. So, Britt, let's get down to here. All right. So, Britt, I don't see, let's see here. If you haven't put your question yet, pop it down below. Let me just scroll through the chat real quick in case you put it up here earlier. But if not, pop your question down below and we will take care of that here. So, hey, I donated on Cash App. All right. See that there. All right. Ah, there you are. All right. Thank you. All right. So, Britt, let's grab your time step here. Boom. All right. So, you're wondering what's going on with Jesse? Does he want a baby and marriage? To someone else, and is he going to stop going ghost on and off? Oh my gosh, right? Whiplash, do I wait or move on? We definitely have a strong connection. If possible, also, am I right about my son resembling who my bio father is? All right, let's take a look-see here. Thank you again for your donation via CashApp. And we'll dive in and see what we got. Let me just take a quick sip here. All right. Get rid of my little coffee mustache there. All right. All right, Britt. So let's see here. Well, specifically here, does Jesse want a baby? Do they want marriage? I feel is these two. Is there someone else that they're currently involved in emotionally, physically, mentally, in any way? We'll look at that. Is he going to stop going ghosting on and off? I know, right? Rolling my eyes. And then when we're asking questions of spirit, they don't have like an opinion. We can ask them energies, like in this case, because like, well, do I wait for him or do I move on? What should I do? Shoulds of spirit, they're like, we don't have an opinion. They don't look at any option as right or wrong, just different. There's different options, different outcomes, different experiences, but we can ask them, which I will. If I wait, what kind of energy do I experience? And if I go on, if I move on, what kind of energy do I experience? So that you can make more of an educated decision of what you want to do, because they honor our free will and they don't want to be held responsible for our choices. They laugh. They're like, ha ha ha. Look, and even on the bottom of the deck, the Chariot card, which is the power of choice card. They're like I said. All right. And then we'll pull out a separate card for your other one about that in a sec here. Or that could be it down here. All right. So first of all, does he want a baby? Does Jesse want a baby? Six of Treasure, Six of Pentacles, this giving and receiving. But this card has really been bringing me a lot of child energy here. So I do like that. Oh, well, there you go. Little girl, right? So I do feel like they do have a desire to have a child. So that is there. Do they want marriage? I feel like they're still trying to decide that, because we have the Ace of Swords, the King of Wands, the King of Coral there, which is an energy of trying to decide what I want. you know, they kind of have this rebel kind of like, I don't want to be told what to do. So I want to decide if this is what I want. I don't want to be forced into anything. I don't want everyone to be telling me what I should be doing. I am the king of my life. I want to decide for me. So I still feel like they're the marriage title and all that relationship, yeah, but I feel like the actual marriage legal feels like a cage for them, and they really are trying to decide if that's something for them because they've witnessed so many marriages not last. I feel like they have like this little belief that marriage is a curse. Everything goes fine until you sign that little line, and then it all starts to go to hell in a handbasket. So I feel like they're trying to still work that side out around marriage. Is there someone else in any way with them here? We got the Seven of Spears and the Ten of Coral. So the Ten of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords does bring in a deceitful kind of energy. Ten of Wands is a lot of passion. So I do feel there's a little bit of, I don't feel here though that it's with one person, like, you know, like they're in a relationship. I feel like they just have this, a lot of, cojones energy, however you say. They got a lot of fire, a lot of passion, and the Seven of Spears is about deception and not sharing the whole truth and things too, right? Um, yeah, he says he wants to marry you. We'll find out what this energy is that comes in here too. But I feel like, again, when it comes back to this other thing, it's like they will tell you what you need to hear to get what they want. That's the part of the Seven of Spears is I'll tell you that. And they might have intentions of that too, but um but they're still trying to figure out, is it what I really what I want? I know it's what you want, and I'm, trying to please you so that I can have what I want when I want it, the passion and intimacy, right? Um, but really, I feel like they're really trying to figure out if they want marriage or not. Really, I mean, really, when it comes down to it. So, um, is it going to stop ghosting on and off? Let's take a look here. We have the High Priestess. I feel like this is what they do. The High Priestess is an energy of stepping away, going up into the high temple, um, seeing things from a different, to get away from a different perspective. So I feel like they do, and there's the High Priestess is a revealer of secrets too. So I feel like they do, go away, come back, go away, come back, go away, come back, kind of energy, because they are having these secret lives, these secret things, and that's when they ghost and come back, is because they're not ready to have all secrets revealed, and that's why they do that ghosting. So I feel like with that High Priestess that it will continue to do that with all this. But let's see what this energy is. Is he going to stop? Let me see. No. Do you wait or move on? If you wait for them, this is the energy you experience. You have the Queen of Pearls, the Queen of Cups. There is a lot of emotion. And you have the Three of Pearls, Three of Cups energy. That's third party situation that comes in there. So yeah, I know you have a lot of emotion, and I feel like you'll always have this because you have a strong intuition, and you know that you have a great empathic ability. You pick up and you're wondering is if there's someone else, whatever, because your spidey sense is going off telling you that, right? So I feel like that would end up being third party kind of situations with that. Um, if you move on, what will you experience? Yeah, you do have a death and a rebirth, which is good. The death card isn't bad in this situation. And you also have the Eight of Coral, the Eight of Wands, which is a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of movement, but it's mutual with this Eight of Wands energy that comes in here. And you'll be able to move on very quickly, it feels. Let's see what's below the surface. Why are you able to move on? Yeah, because there's the Eight of Pentacles too. You have the Tower card, which is someone's removed out of your life on purpose to make space for someone who's more in alignment with who you are. The Eight of Treasure, the Eight of Pentacles is you would be able to put in the blood, the sweat, the tears, but you get the fruit of your labor with the, this, the Eight of Coral and the Eight of, here, I feel like eights are important with the CashApp too. I'm like all these eights standing out. And it's like, yeah, have that feeling, right? So I feel like that's, clear messages there for all that. And then let's pull your other one about your son, and then let's get your fortune cookie too. See what they have here. So, is it, let's see, are you right about your son resembling who your bio father is? All right, let's take a look here. So does your son resemble your biological father? All right, let's take a look here. Yeah, with the Justice card here, there's this balancing energy. There are similarities. So I feel like that is right when we're doing that, doing those, because this is Libra, Venus energy, relationship. So, the relatedness to it. So I do feel like you are right about that. Your son does resemble your biological father. So I like that. Right. Let's see what your fortune cookie is here. We'll draw here from the art therapy, see what else they want to bring through here. I feel like it's going to focus more on your journey with the ghost, the ghost of Christmas past. See what else we have here. Yeah, you got clay play. So, of course, the medium is sculpturing. The goal is to calm through mindfulness. The time commitment is 5 minutes. So it says, pick 2 colors of clay that will mix together nicely. Combine the colors until a new color is formed. And while kneading the clay, focus on breathing deeply and notice how the repetitive motion and kneading action make you feel. Repeat as desired. A hint is bring some clay with you so you can do this relaxing activity anywhere, anytime. Some questions that you can ask yourself here is, how do you feel after doing this exercise? During your day, what takes you out of the present moment? What feels stressful? And then when could this art practice be most useful in your day? And they've got green and yellow clay here. Wow, I love that your biological father's a Libra. How perfect is that, right? I love it. But I like this energy. What stood out to me regarding your question is picking 2 colors of clay that mix together nicely. And it's like you deserve to be with someone like yourself, not someone who ghosts, not someone who wanders, not someone who does all those things, but someone who communicates and someone who wants the same things. And so I feel like it's, important to, know that, right? You are very welcome. Thank you again for your donation, Britt. Good to see you. Hang in there, my dear. All right. So we'll continue. continue down the list here. All right, so we're here. All right. So Sean G, you are up next. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom. There we go. So let's see here. We have here. Okay. So you must be back up here. Let me scroll up. Sean G. Hey. So guidance from your higher self. You've been feeling really moody lately. Yeah, I'm sure you're not alone. Just the astrological energy in itself is very so I love that you're aware of that energy. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, if you ever want to get messages from your father, I do connect to people on the other side too. So if you want to, ask for a message from them, we can always pull that too and find out from them. I love that. All right. So, Sean, let's take a look at your messages about the moodiness, what else they want you to know, anything around it. But there is a lot of astrological energy that is expanding, oh my gosh, just our emotions. It's been going on all year, really. It's just been growing and growing. We're heading into eclipse season. We're going to start to feel it next week. We can start to feel it next week. It's like 8 weeks before, so a couple of months away, but we're starting to feel it. But we've got Jupiter, the planet of expansion, moved into Cancer, moon, emotional energy. So we have that, and then shortly after the moon was the full moon in Sagittarius, and we're in Cancer season, which is the season of emotion, and we're about to head into Leo. So the fire energy, we went into a retrograde, Mercury retrograde, our planet of communication, just moved in there. And all the planets have been changing signs this year. Since last November when Pluto went into Aquarius, was the start of it. Every other planet is changing signs this year, which is not normal, because some planets take 15, 20 years to change signs. That they all are changing within the same year period. A lot of energy. So just be aware of that as well. Sometimes just being aware of it goes, okay, it's not something in me, it's something I can do to ground myself and do as much as I can to focus on higher vibration, because whatever we're focusing on is definitely expanding. So if I can stay, connected higher, then I feel higher energy expanded instead of lower vibration feeling the bleh, right? So let's see what else they have to say here. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Knight of Pearls, the Knight of Cups, the movement of emotion. So definitely that's what we're talking about, right? And it's a good reminder too, with all the knights are a quest for self-love, for the Ace of Cups, for seeking higher love, right? And so the journey that we're on, this quest for our inner love, all of the outside world keeps pointing us back to ourselves. No matter what we experience, it's always going to feel unstable and not enough and falling short until we find that chalice inside of us. And we are filling up with that eternal unconditional love from above, filling us up, overflowing. Then the outside world changes from a place of lack to a place of above and beyond extra and overflowing. So it's a good reminder that all this crap that we experience in the outside world points us back to us, for us. Because until we do that, we do feel like, why is everything like out there, right? All right, let's see what else they want. Yeah, Page of Pearls. So higher emotional energy with the Page of Cups. So it is about seeking that when they're holding this little orb, the pearl is the unconditional love energy. That's the energy from above. So it is this energy of finding that pearl of guess, what does the Bible call it? The pearl of great price. It's that beautiful, unconditional love energy that lives within us, right? So it is about that. You also have the Queen of Treasure, Queen of Pentacles. Time for Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So turning to yourself, getting grounded with that Pentacles energy, the Earth energy. And then behind the scenes, she has emotion energy, the Cups energy that's there. So it's about groundedness and the Wheel of Fortune. It is all for us. It is the tuna for you. So all this stuff, all this moodiness has to do with the realizing the ever-changing emotional energies that are going out in the outside world and doing the things we know that we can do to ground ourselves, but being aware of the difference between emotional energy from others and the world. What is my feelings that I'm actually feeling in this moment? What's bubbling up from the below of my inner child reacting from sensing something in the outside world that's activated its alarm system, and my past life emotions from other lifetimes that are being drawn to the surface because they also match that energy. So it's becoming aware and realizing my power of emotional choice, being gentle with myself, knowing that there's no wrong choice. There's just different choices with different experiences, different outcomes. So if I choose a lower vibration and I get a little, I talk about every once in a while, when I get in my Capricorn rising energy and I'm in my tasking mode, like I'll be out working on the yard and getting weeds, and my host will come out on taking a break from because she works from home, and she'll come out and she'll da 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 da, and sometimes I'll be like, well, da da da. I'm like, I'm all serious and I'm in work mode. When I'm in task mode, my emotions kind of are over here, and so when she comes in Sagittarius, joyful energy, I have to be aware. Otherwise, I'll be, what do you need? What do you want? What do you want? And she knows. She's like, she's so easygoing. After I realize it and I go in the house, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I was in my Capricorn energy and you didn't deserve that. And she's like, oh, I didn't even notice. I'm like, well, I'm sorry anyway. And she's like, oh, whatever. But it's being aware of it and understanding ourselves and, can help with all that. Let's see what's under below the surface. It is happening for you, though. You got the Six of Coral, balancing of energy, and the Two of Coral. So it's balancing our energy and remembering what we're focusing on. What we've been talking about, whatever we focus on grows and expands. So just know if we're running on autopilot, like I said, when I get into task mode, I'm into autopilot. I'm not conscious of what I'm choosing. I will choose the old ways that I grew up with, right? My South Node, all this energy that comes in, I'll revert to the old ways if I'm not conscious. So things that we have to do to stay conscious and grounded is important. So I feel like that's what they want you to know. You have the King of Pearls. Yeah, balance of your emotions between your head and your heart. Here's balanced emotional energy. We have the Four of Pearls, balanced emotional energy, and the Justice card, balanced Libra energy. So you have this ability to balance. You're not at the whim of the outside energy. It's like, why do I keep on feeling different temperatures? Every time I go outside, I feel differently. Well, because the weather's different. Some days it's warmer, some days it's cold, sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's humid, sometimes it's this. If we look at the forecast and I'm aware of the weather, then I can dress appropriately and it won't impact me as much. And I feel like that's a big piece of what they're saying here is just be aware that the energy that's out there. I put reminders on my phone. In fact, I probably need to do one for this energy that we're in right now. Come back to now every couple hours. Just to remember as we get drawn out into all the energy that's going on to come back. Oh, that's right. Let me come back to here instead of there, and everywhere else, right? So hopefully that helps. I feel like it's this is what is going on, and it's just expansive energy that's there. So let's see what your art therapy card, as always, I'm excited to see what you get here. Let's see what they have here for you, Sean. All right, I feel like we're doing this green one. Ooh, power number 55. Change, change, change energy. And it's, you probably would know what this is. Is that cyanotype silhouettes? I probably totally mispronounced that. Cyan, cayenne, yanotype. Is the C silent? I don't know. You probably know. But the goal for the activity is to boost happiness through mindfulness. Again, focus on joy, right? The medium is photography and digital art. Commitment 45 minutes. Instructions: using cut paper or items from nature, create silhouettes to lay on top of cyanotype paper, whatever that is. I know I'm murdering that. Then lay the paper flat in the sun, following the package directions. While the paper develops, take time to breathe intentionally and deeply, closing your eyes if desired. Make several prints, then consider how you can cut and combine them using your collage materials. Hint: you can use scissors to cut paper, but for detailed results, try an X-Acto knife, right? So that's what it looks like as an example. And exploratory questions that you can ask yourself: what changed for you after breathing intentionally? So helping with our moodiness, when we start to feel, start to growl at people, we can intentionally breathe, right? Did this art process bring up any feelings? And was this a new process for you? Probably not for you, art queen artiste, but something that you can develop with, right? Literally. Da-da-da. Okay. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Hopefully that helps you stay out of jail and don't hurt anyone. I'm just kidding. I know you wouldn't hurt anyone. Not physically, anyway. You might threaten people only if they deserve it. All right. So that is what we have for you. All right. Let me just take a sip here, and I'll give you guys an update on where we're at with everyone here. All right. So we have that one. Let me just look at timestamps here. All right. Here we go. All right. So I'll have Maria P via the PayPal here. Then we'll jump over to Aries Rising, and then to Alice, and then to David, and then to Missy. Hey, Missy, my friend. I knew her in high school. So hello, my friend, for visiting via the Venmo. And then, hey. Yeah, absolutely. We'll check you in there. So good to see you. Hope everything's well over there on the upper northwest there. And then we will jump back to Andrea, 54 Hector, after that. So we will dive in there. Good to see you. All right. Let's give these a shuffle. And so Maria, thank you for your donation. Let me get your timestamp here. So Maria, 209 exactly, just as I checked. So perfect. Boom. There we go. So Maria, thank you for your donation today. And we're checking in for the evening edition of the Days of Our Lives for Maria and Wally. So let's take a look. One more shuffle here. And what are Wally's thoughts and feelings towards you today? So let's do a check-in. Let's see where we're at with what's going on with them here. What's he up to today and Tamale? So what is he doing? What has he been doing all day today? So we got today and we got tomorrow. He seems stressed over there. When is he not, right? What's going on the dark side? If it's the same old, he would be feeling the stress there, right? When he goes for walks and sits in the park and chills and talks. Let's see. So when we go for walks and sit in the park and chill, his thoughts. Oh yeah. And then anything else for Wally and you? Let's see here. All right. Just that one? All right. So his feelings and thoughts for you right now. Got the Eight of Treasure, the Six of Pearls. So the Eight of Pentacles is an energy of like progression and seeing transformation. And you know how like we get the Seven of Pentacles, it's the last thing that grows on the fruit tree. I feel like this is they're seeing, like they're in a reflective mode of seeing how far you've come in a year and how things have progressed and seeing the fruit of it all. They're also been thinking about children with that Six of Pearls, the Six of Cups, thinking about their children or child and your children, and just thinking about just the impact and how children grow up and the influence on children and their own childhood. I feel like they're very reflective today with this energy, but it feels very, it doesn't feel somber. It doesn't feel like it feels like they're like kind of grinning as they're thinking about the things, and just look at how far things have come and look how much their child has grown, and then they think about your children. It's just like this energy with all of that, if that makes sense. What was he up to today? What was he doing today? Yeah, wishing upon a star. It's funny, the star card. So it does feel very dreamy. It feels like they're really focused on what life could be, and so really in this dreamy type of energy today, with that, working on their dream, working on, but I feel like a lot of reflection today. Tomorrow, yeah, they've got stuff to do, the Two of Swords. Tomorrow there is a lot of decision making, a lot of getting stuff done. Feels very mental tomorrow. Like, I got to do this, I got to do that. It feels very tasky and list oriented with that energy. Today felt like dream. Tomorrow feels like, all right, well, I not wasted, but in their mind, like, well, I just kind of pooped around today. Now I gotta catch up on everything tomorrow. Kind of energy. That's funny. All right, so that's what they have for that. What's going on the dark side? What's the stress going on here? Yeah, the King of Pearls. Well, we got this earlier. The King of Pearls, just trying to keep the dragon happy. I like that, the Strength card. But it is balance between head and heart, and just trying to keep things. You know, I feel like that's the stress. Is that it's walking on eggshells, just trying to go around doing what I want to do, and you know, don't get too close to the mouth of the cave where the dragon, um, catches you on fire. It's just like the fire breathing dragon. Same old stress, right? If you lived in a cave with a fire breathing dragon, you would be on alert all the time and stressed too, right? But nothing's really changed. I don't feel like there. When you go for walks and all that, what are his thoughts? Yep, the Seven of Coral and the Ten of Swords. So the Seven of Coral is about being true to their authentic self and, just being themselves, not feeling like they have to ask permission to shine or dim their light or whatever. Um, they like just being able to just be and be away from all the expectations, like the Ten of Swords kind of energy, right? And they do feel this freedom and this flow and this peace. That's the peace of mind and the peace where they don't feel like I have to be doing something and meeting expectations. It's just flowing and it feels very peaceful. It is this wonderful, did you say it here? Like, yeah, to chill and to talk. And it's just like, I'm just being. I can just be, and it feels great to just be. And that's that. We talked about earlier. I think it was earlier today. One of the things that they really love about you is that peace of mind, right? That's that kind of energy that comes in here with that. So I like that. Anything else for you guys? Yeah, the Tower card. You know, at the right time, space will be made, and we can trust. The Tower card is trusting that if anything is ever moved out of our lives, it makes space for something that is in more alignment with who we are and where we want to go. And at the right time, things are moved out of our life and things are moved into our life. And so it's trusting that for his life too, that at the right time, because that's what gets us so consumed with what's going on over there. Are they doing what when is this going to happen? That's energy of lack, right? And so this is trusting. I can trust the creator that things are going to be moved out of the path when it's right, when it's perfect timing, and not until then. Until then, we're going to be learning and growing through whatever's unfolding, right? So that's what they have for you there, Maria. Let's get you your fortune cookie here too. Let me just put these away real quick here and see what else we have here for you. All right, I feel like it says here. Here you go. You got card number 6, Mama Energy, Unconditional Love Energy, A Day My Way. So let's see, this is painting is the medium. The goal is to get to know your desires and set your intentions. The instructions say, ask yourself, what would today look like if I could spend it exactly how I wanted? You can use watercolor pencils to make an image and describe as many details as possible. You can use crayons too, since you have children, if you don't have watercolor. Use water and a paintbrush to blend the colors. Oh, I see. Once dry, you can add more details with watercolor pencils or pen. The explorative questions you can ask yourself is, how do you feel after spending time in your imaginary ideal day? Are there elements from your art that you could incorporate into your day today? And what is preventing you from actually creating that day? Wow, what is the perfect day? Why is that the perfect day? And what's keeping you from having your perfect day? Interesting, right? All right, that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. Sorry, my mouse is getting stuck here. There we go. All right. So thank you again for your multiple donations today. All right. So we are here. Whoops, it must be further up. There we go. So Aries rising, you are up. Hello, hello. Let's grab your timestamp here. Just so everyone knows, at the end of each session, I do post the list of all the readings I completed with timestamps, so you can click on it and go directly to your reading afterwards too, in case you're coming back after I've completed the stream. All right, so Aries rising, thank you for your donation. And you'd like one of your nosy reads, please. So when will you have the opportunity to meet mom and son? And what are their thoughts and feelings about you? This isn't a romantic read. Okay. Thank you for the heads up. We don't want it to go weird. All right, so let's take a look here. When will you have the opportunity to meet the mom and the son? Will you, first of all? We'll ask that. All right, here we go. So will you have the opportunity to meet them? All right. You have the 8 of Spears, the 8 of Swords, which is movement of communication, thought, belief. It is, I feel like that is an affirmative that you will, because it's a flowing communication energy. So that feels like a positive there. Um, and then when will you have the opportunity? So as far as timing or situation, like when is that? All right. We do have the Queen of Pearls, the Queen of Cups. When the mother allows it. No, that's funny. But this is Queen Mother, very emotional, Divine Mother energy here with the Queen of Cups, Queen of Pearls. Um, when is this? I'm gonna sit with that for a minute because I keep on getting when mother says so. So when mom says so. When are you gonna have the opportunity to meet? When mom says so. And it's like, okay, mom, when are you going to say so? Let's see what else we'll get to come in here with all this. So, what are mom's thoughts and feelings about you? Let's look at that first here. We did both thoughts and feelings. I don't know if this is thoughts and then feelings. And then what about the sun, T, thoughts and feelings? Thoughts and feelings. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. So the thoughts and feelings, let me just scroll down here in case you're talking. Okay. So for mom, the thoughts first, we do have the Ace of Pearls, Ace of Cups energy. So this is thinking energy. They do see you as, there's this happy energy here. So it's like they're thinking of you like, well, you're a happy person. It's interesting. Nine of Coral, Nine of Wands. She's not easily convinced of things. And then also the Three of Coral, the changing of direction on what they thought as the new information. So this is not personal towards you. They're uh, very slow on making judgments. They like, I want a lot of information. I want to understand. Like there's this barrier, this protective energy that they have, um, that they're like, okay, I need more information before I give you the check or not. I don't just give people that. But I feel like as they're getting to know you, they're like, you're a happy person. And I feel like their thoughts of you are on the positive side with that Ace of Pearls energy. So they're analyzation of you, or whatever that's called. They're like, all right, you're a pearl. You're not a clam. you know, they do see you as someone who's kind of a catch in a way. It's like you're a pearl of great price. But I feel like that's what conclusion they're coming to. But still, the jury is still out. You know, uh, very slow. Emotions. They have the Knight of Coral. They have the Knight of Wands, and so they do feel like you are a passionate person, and that comes in here with like you're a happy person, you're a passionate person, you have a lot of energy, you're very active, um, but I feel like that's I want to say it's not like it's a bad thing. It just feels uncomfortable for them how energetic you are, and it makes what it is that uh, their inner child feels out of control and a little unsafe around that energy because they experienced people of that energy when they were younger that were not nice people, like they didn't treat them well. Their action, you took them into acting bad, right? Um, yeah. Yeah, well, I definitely feel it will, because I feel like that's why it takes time for them to go, all right, I I do want to meet you, kind of energy. Because I feel like with what they're picking up and different things, they're like, they've got to get over that, you know, this isn't you, you're different. There's something different about you. And that's why their mind is kind of overriding fears, even though the emotions are actually, coming up with all that. So they're realizing you're not like those other people. That's where that Three of Wands is with new information. I'm going a different route than I normally would, because you are different. All right. And then the Sun, let's see what their thoughts are towards you. Yeah, they're more of an introvert. The Hermit card and the Tower card. Um, there's a bit of well, a lot of fear. Very much a hermit and an introvert, and they don't get close to people fast. This Tower card, they have a lot of people that go in and out of their life, and they have had a lot of people go in and out of their life um, growing up, and so they're very content, and they like the safety of being alone more. So I feel like their thoughts are um, stranger danger, stranger danger for everyone, really. They're just like, I'd rather be alone. I'd rather have my headphones on playing a game or doing something than interacting with people. So I don't feel like they have a whole lot of thoughts, because they're very focused inward there. Let's see what their emotions are, though. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know if they're bipolar, but we do have, or if they're Gemini, but they've got 10 of Cups, which is a lot of joy. So they have a lot of emotion. Like they want to be happy to see you. But then the King of Spears, the King of Swords, is about totally the other direction, totally logic and in the head. That's why it feels like split personality, bipolar Gemini energy, where there's twins living within them. It depends on the moment. They're either going to like be very happy to see you or not acknowledge that you're in the room because they're all in their brain. So, energy there, but I do feel like when mama decides, and I feel like it feels like it's progressing. It feels like it's headed in that direction that they do want to, but don't feel bad if, you know, the introvert doesn't acknowledge your existence. Just go, all right, that's for them. It does feel like this year. I mean, what is this, July, August, September, October, November, December, 5 months? It does feel about right that it will be this year, because I feel like, yeah, based on current energies, I'm feeling more like 2 to 3 months, but I do feel like it's by the end of this year. Let's see what else we get here through the art therapy card here too. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, still life. Be still. Don't make any sudden movements. We got sensory, still life. This is painting. The goal is to calm through mindfulness, and the time commitment 45 minutes. So the instructions are: assemble some fruits and vegetables from your kitchen in front of you. Use watercolor pencils to sketch the scene. Then add water with your paintbrush to blend the colors. Use the pencils to add more shading after the wet color dries. Focus on your senses. What do you see, smell, taste, feel, and hear? Wow. So this is some energy of focus in on your senses and focus on what you're bringing um, as well. When you get to meet them, really think about what you can bring around what they will see, smell, taste, feel, and hear. Um, so if you want to bring them something that is sensory in some way, I feel like that helps too. Because music calms the savage beast, right? But some explorative questions you can ask are, were you able to tune in to your five senses? Which sense felt the easiest to tune into? Does your level of calmness feel different after this exercise? And how can you apply this mindfulness practice to situations during your day? Interesting. All right. You're very welcome. Thank you again for your donation, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. So we're continuing down the list. Again, next will be Alice, and then David for your follow-up, and then Missy, and then Andrea. You'll be up after that. All right. So Alice, let's get your timestamp here. 2:31:15. Boom, boom. All right. And thank you for your donation and your sticker there. So you're curious to see what the cards say about how you view, think, and feel about RJ. All right. So you want to know what your perception, what they want you to know about how you view them. All right. Yeah, let's take a look here and see what awareness they can bring. Let me just take a lesson here. And we'll move to my water. I can't believe I ran out of coffee. Oh my God. All right. So what does Spirit want you to know about how you view, think, and feel? About them. View, think, and feel. I feel like this is here, but I don't know. I feel like these are underneath. Okay. All right. So, Alice, we've got the bottom energy is the Four of Spears, the Four of Swords. And this represents an energy of, it's peace of mind, but it's peace of mind that comes when we let expectations go. And so there is this interesting, it's like they're saying there's two viewpoints. Like when you are in a place of allowance and unconditional love and this, your view of them is different than when we get into our expectations, into our human side of the supposed to be and the should be and the need to be and the have to be, right? So we have different viewpoints. We have our higher view and then our human when we're stuck in our mind energy, right? So there's two different viewpoints, and I feel like that's important to know that it can change, and that's why you might feel like one way one day and then a different way other days, right? So let's take a look here. Let's see what they want you to know about how you view RJ. We got the High Priestess, and we have the Hanged Man. Both of these cards bring in an energy of, again, when we're talking about seeing things from a higher perspective, right? The High Priestess goes away into her High Priestess temple, looks down from that viewpoint, connects with Spirit, looks behind the veil, dives into them own selves, reflection, self-reflection. And the Hanged Man also hangs upside down to see things from a different perspective. So definitely there's this energy of the way that you view them. They want you to know that how they view you is a reflection in the mirror, and how you view them is a reflection in the mirror of you. So it's interesting, like you want to know what they say about how you view. It's how you view yourself. So remember that whatever you think you see, how does that reflect you? Because they're really just a mirror for you, right? So that's an important thing here. Under the surface, let's see what else we have here. Yeah, wow, 4 major arcana, because you do have the Chariot, which is the power of choice, and the Hierophant, again, another card about seeing things from a higher perspective. I do feel like you look at them differently than you have previously in the past because you've changed, so you began to see them differently too. As you gain more clarity about who you are, you're gaining more clarity about who they really are too, because your vision is less tinted by the human lower vibration, and you're seeing things more from higher and higher vibration. That's the High Priestess, the Hangman, the Hierophant. The Chariot card is the power of choice. Again, it's that energy of that you can see it from different viewpoints and different standpoints too. That, you know, depends on my mood. If I wake up in a crappy mood, my viewpoint of everyone is different than when I wake up in a happy, happy, woo 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 mood. And that has nothing to do with anything anyone is doing, has all to do with my perception of the world. And so I feel like that's what they want you to know a lot about how you view them. It changes, depending on where you're at, where your energy is at, because we do not see the world as it is. We see the world as we are, as we're going through it, right? So I feel like that's an important thing there. Um, let's see here. So that is that. And then how you think about RH, you've got the Eight of Pearls. How you think about them is really rooted in these emotions. The Eight of Cups is about leaving behind emotions and relationships that don't serve me anymore. And so your thinking about RJ is an energy of um, emotions from the past that are pushed down. Again, this is a reflection because our one emotion creates 1,000 thoughts. So I feel like a lot of what they're saying here is how you are viewing and thinking. We'll look at feeling here too. But so far, my view and perception and my thinking of them is really colored by my emotional experiences and the relationships I've had in the past. And um, there is some of this belief that I've experienced that I've overlaid on them. So I don't really see RJ truly for who they are. I'm seeing it through all this conditioning, through all these experiences. I feel like that's where this seeing things from a higher perspective is coming in, is you're realizing more and more that as I release some old emotions and old ways of thinking, I see them differently and I see them more clearly. Interesting, right? Let's see here. Um, Feelings. How do you feel about them? Yeah, you got the Two of Pearls, the Two of Cups. Your emotions, your heart does see them as an important relationship here. And the Empress energy is an energy of birthing and beginnings, and there's sensuality there. You minx you. I'm just kidding. But the Empress also is about, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, caring for someone, a lot of compassion, a lot of care. So you do have a lot of love for them. The Empress energy, she rules over all four queens, which is 5 parts cups, 1 part, earth, fire, and air. But she's 5 parts water, which is a lot of emotion. So you do have great, great emotional connection to them. So you have a great amount of love, but there's a lot of perception mentally and perception wise of things that aren't really them. It's uh, our perceptions that have been skewed by past experiences, if that makes sense. Below the surface, I like this. You've got the Queen of Pearls, the Queen of Cups. So you again, past life connections here, and with the Temperance card too. This is about patience and things slowly evolving and unfolding here. And but there is that energy. The Queen of Cups has a great, like the High Priestess, has a great subconscious connection of past life emotions. And so I do feel like a big piece of your um, emotional, like, wow, I got all that emotion we were talking about. There's a great amount of it that's past life connection that you feel and you pick up with, and that kind of, counteracts a lot of this other stuff going on, because you're like, yeah, I've got all these perceptions of this lifetime that I'm kind of projecting on them, but I also got all this myriad of all this flood of all these emotions from the past that are also there, that are coming in. So you do have a great amount of care and love for them. So interesting. So that's what they have for that. Let's see what the fortune cookie brings in here for you, Alice. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. Do you want the green one here? Close and far. Right? Did they do that? Are they close and then far away? So the goal for this activity is to increase self-reflection. The medium is the collage. And it says, cut out printed words that describe qualities you want to embody. Do not make a ransom note. Write your name and glue a photo or draw a figure in the middle of the page. Glue words closer or farther away from you, depending on how closely they resonate with who you are right now. Add color to further expand on these ideas. Wow, very interesting. I'll show you the picture here if it can show up a little bit there. Let's see if I can get it closer. Sorry, it doesn't focus in, but it's kind of like that. Questions you can ask yourself are, did you see something about yourself in a new way? Here's that reflection, right? What elements of who you are do you appreciate most? And how could you take a small step towards bringing the farther words closer today? Interesting. Again, this self-reflection energy coming in with that. So hopefully that helps, Alice. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then David, we are circling back around for your follow-up. Here's both of your timestamps together, just in case. Let me remove this one off here. All right. So David, let's give that a love and a like. Thank you again for your follow-up donation. So you want to know, how is Michael's mom going to help him get out of his current situation? And 2, will he come into some money soon? And 3, how does this change things for him? All right. All right. So number 1, based on current energies, how is Michael's mom going to help him get out of the situation here? Okay. And number 2, will he come into some money soon? Based on current energy. All right, that. And then how does this change things for him when he does get money, right? Okay. Like that is that here. All right. Yeah. Bottom energy, we do have the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups, of course, ton of different emotions all over the place. So definitely emotional stability is a must for them, because I do feel like they're always in some sort of emotional turmoil, right? But how mama is going to help them get out of this situation. We got the Judgment card and the Hierophant. Both of these are about helping them see things from a higher perspective, giving them that, maybe they are the ones that give them the awareness around the patterns that they're in, the repeating cycles that they have, but it's about taking them and allowing them to see things differently. So how do they do that? Stage an intervention with a counselor. No, that would be, those are not usually accepted very well. Maybe she gives the name of her therapist, right? But I do feel like it's more conversational and more helping them see things differently, because they know him very well. She knows her baby well and knows that they're not going to do anything they don't want to do, and it doesn't help. They know they've tried, and they always resist and end up going in the opposite direction they're trying to get them there. So it's more about giving perspectives and just kind of hints and things here and there, giving them just love. I feel like is how they support and uh, giving them a safe place and um, just kind of like, well, if you need anything, let me know. Or if you need somewhere to stay, you can always come hang out in the guest room or whatever, right? And they're like, what do you mean? But planting little seeds kind of feels like how she'll help because I feel like there's that resistance that she gets from him when she tries to help him do things. Because it's mom. Uh, Even though I feel like their mama's boy, I still feel like they are resistant. Two, will they come into money soon? We got the two of pearls, the two of cups that are coming in here. It's emotional choice energy, but I don't feel here that that's emotional energy. It's not pentacles. It's not abundance from the outside world. What is this relationship, close relationship energy? I don't feel like it's soon because what I'm getting with this two of cups, this relationship that they're in was not an accident. you know Everything in our life does happen on purpose for a purpose. It creates the classroom. This other person, I mean, every one of us, really, each of us is a human character, but behind this human character is a actor. It's a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love, and we play these parts for the role that we're in, for this dream, for this play that we're putting on, to experience things. And so we're in these roles and we're having these things happen for a reason. And this two of cups is about, this is a relationship that they were supposed to and agreed to uh, experience for their purposes of growth and understanding. And when it is done, then the solution comes. But it's like, it's it'll be over when it's ready to be over, right? The lesson is repeated until it is learned. And so the cycle repeats until both parties have learned what they want, and then they can agree to go into their separate, you know, uh, next experiences, right? Act two, after intermission, kind of energy. But once they do get money, I feel like that's the big thing. Because I feel like that is kind of gonna be like how the you know the scene ends with money and being able to separate after having learned that. Because I really feel like a big piece of their energy is really attached to possessions right now, and I feel like money coming in would be more likely of them leaving the relationship than them learning to let go of attachment to material things and having that security. I just feel like a big piece of their definition is what they have and what they look like and what they own. That's like a big piece of all that. So, how does this change when they have all this? Yeah, the Eight of Spears, the Eight of Swords. They're aware of their own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that kept them restricted. The Seven of Treasure. So that is that the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. So they get that treasure that comes in, and then they're ready to move on and move forward. And the Star card, yeah, allows them to move forward into what they feel their dream come true is. But this is their, again, that's that mindset. I feel like they really get stuck in the that mindset of having, like, the dream is to have all of this. It's not a dream of the heart, it's a dream of the mind, of expectations. So I feel like it just changes location. It doesn't change uh intention, if that makes sense. So 100% right. She's been doing this for the past few months already. Oh, okay, very good. And so will they be coming into money soon? Um, I don't feel so with that, because the it's up to the power of choice for them, and it keeps looping, right? And because what was it? Didn't we ask that in the last one? It was like it could be tomorrow, it could be 2 years from now. Was that them? I'll double check here, but I don't think that it was, because they have to change. The money has to come in, or their mindset has to change, right? Which we're saying the mindset, the money would come in first. So is the money coming in soon? Let's see here. I got the Justice card. Is there some sort of settlement or inheritance coming their way? Let's see here, because that feels like court related. Do you have the Page of Treasure? Yeah. So Page of Pentacles is new abundance coming in. That's coming in here. Can we have time frame on this at all? Is this November? It's number 11. Pages are like number 11s. Getting like November. Yeah, we've got the Three of Spears, the Three of Swords. So it feels like November to March is the current energy that's coming in here, because that's what brings the ending of a cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, that's coming in here. So it feels like that's more likely around when this is coming in for him here. Yeah. But see, the thing is that if they don't learn their lesson, then they're just going to learn it another way. If you get out of one classroom without learning everything you wanted to learn, you just enter another classroom. That can be harder. It doesn't have to be. It's not a threat, but we definitely have that. All right. Let's see what your fortune cookie is here with the Affirminators. And we've got here, everyone's a teacher. That's funny with that Hierophant energy, because that's all about teacher-student, right? Everyone is a teacher. I love that, right? So they're either going to learn it through them or another teacher. That's hilarious. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons, I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but someone's got to do it. So today I'm thanking all the a-holes. Thank you, a-holes, for playing your part and making me a better person. That's so hilarious. So they are a teacher, right? Exactly as we were saying. That's hilarious. You are very welcome. Thank you for the follow-up donation too. And yeah, we'll see what unfolds here. My goodness. All right. Thank you again, David. So many blessings. Hopefully we'll see you around some more. All right. So Missy, hello, my friend. Let's get your timestamp here. Oh, look at this little mirroring. Yours is 253.35 coming in. So thank you for your donation via the Venmo. Hope you're doing well and you're here for a general message. All right, let's take a look in here. See what we got going on. What does Spirit want you to know? All right, all right, all right, all right. So what do you have here? All right, got those. We do want these underneath. What else? Okay, we do have this. We do want this. We do want those underneath that too. For underlying energies, do we have anything else here too? Oh, nope, not those. We do want this one. We do want this one here. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. Let me take a sip of some water. All right. You do have the Two of Coral as your underlying energy. The Two of Coral, the Two of Wands. It's a great energy of awareness around whatever we focus on is what does grow and expand. So keeping that conscious awareness of, am I focusing on this moment and the gratitude for what I do have and what I have had? Because that draws in more of that. It magnifies us to receive more of that, right? We can get caught up into focusing on want and need, but that is lack energy, right? That's like, um, I don't need something unless I feel I'm lacking something. I don't want something unless I feel I'm lacking something. So it is lack energy. Same with patience. Like, well, I'm waiting for something. I'm patiently waiting. That's lack, because if I'm patiently waiting, it means I feel like I should have something already, but I don't have it. So awareness around what is lower vibrational and what's lack, because if I focus on that, I get more of energy that matches not having. Instead of focusing on what I have and what I have had, that's have energy, which brings me more have. So it's good awareness energy. Just about whatever I focus on is what I do expand in my life, and what I draw to me. So that's a good reminder just of energy. Let's see what else they have here. So you've got the Seven of Coral, Seven of Wands, which is about standing tall, being true to one's authentic self, not dimming one's light, not asking permission to shine, not defending one's actions, but being true and like the shining bright like the sun. It would be stage, it would be get out in front of people, which is so your energy, right? It's about being true to you and just shining bright, not worrying about everyone else, what they'll think or not think, do, blah, blah, blah. The sun doesn't ask permission to shine. It doesn't. It's like, I'm going to be me, boom. If you can't handle the heat, get in the shade, get a giant sun hat, put on some sunscreen, get in the house, get in the cellar if you can't stand the sun. But I'm not going to become less for anyone else. I like that energy. Under the surface of that, you do have the Four of Pearls, the Four of Cups, and underneath that, we also have the Three of Pearls, the Three of Cups. I like this energy. It's joy, 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 and celebration energy. It is community energy, knowing your community. I also feel like with this Four of Cups, it's stagnancy, it's boredom, and I feel like there is this um, kind of fire in your belly to be more true and to do things a little differently because you're ready for something exciting, something new, you're ready to expand. And I feel like this is an affirmation or a confirmation to do it, to step forward, allow yourself to express yourself in the way that you're wanting to do it, that it is um, progression too. We have the Three of Cups that brings us to the Four of Cups. And we have the odd numbers in the minor arcana to shake and rattle our cage to help us go to the next level. So when we're at the Two of Cups, we had the Three of Cups to rattle to bring us to the number four. We're good there for a while, but if we stay at that level too long, we become stagnant. So then we want to be able to have a little rattling of our emotions at a five confliction energy to bring us to the next level six, and so on. So I like that for you with that. Let's see what else we have here. You also have the Justice card. So there is this balancing of energy. It's also of the mind and of communication, but it's about seeing things differently and cutting away some old ways of thinking, some old ways of communicating, old perceptions of things, and you're seeing things from a different perspective. So there is a kind of a card of expansion energy with that Libra energy that's coming in. And the Death card, yeah. So death and rebirth, kind of Kali energy coming in. I like that for you. because it is this removal of things to rise and transformation that's coming in here. So both of those major arcana are bringing this change in, but it's not a change that's happening for you. It's a change that you're making with this. The underlying energy around this one, yeah. Look at this, another major arcana. World card. It is an ending of a cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, and the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Spears, which is a new heightened way, like we said with the Justice card. She usually has the Ace of Swords, which gives you the ability and this gift to communicate differently, see things differently, and release old ways of doing things, if that resonates there for you. And then your other two cards here, you've got here the Six of Coral, the Six of Wands, again being seen, being uplifted like the Seven of Coral. But this is victory. It's being supported by your spiritual posse, but it's also being supported by others, and that there is this energy of success, this victory. So whatever this is that you're looking at doing and changing and moving into, it's very supported to do it. Just make sure to look at things from a higher perspective, get out of old ways of thinking around it. Yeah, and the Chariot. My gosh, all this major arcana, crazy. But you got the, again, another victory energy and a movement of leaving behind, well, it's not really leaving behind things, but it is about the power of choice, which is, am I going to, focus on lower vibration or higher vibration? Because every moment I have the power of choice. I get to choose, no matter what's going on in the outside world, I get to choose the story that I'm going to put to it mentally. I get to choose the emotional soundtrack I'm putting behind the story. I get to choose the energy that I'm focusing on and drawing toward me, right? With that, like that Two of Wands. And then I get to choose my physical actions. I can't choose anyone else's, I can only choose my own. And I'm in control of that. So very much empowerment here, seeing things differently, allowing change, allowing this balance to come in. But it's time to shine, and I really like that energy. So hopefully that brings you the messages. And then you get a art therapy, which is so cool for you, being the artiste that you are in so many ways. We'll see what your art therapy card says, what kind of art project they encourage, and what kind of questions come up in that for you too. So let's take a look here. What else do we have? Well, Missy. All right, I like this one here. Wow, you got an art history challenge. Dun, dun, dun. If you choose to accept it. Card 13. So the goal for your activity is to appreciate art and increase self-expression. I love that. And then it is painting. It's a 1 hour commitment, it says. The instructions are: pick a famous painting you've always liked. Study the image or visit it at a museum. Instead of trying to copy the painting, think about the elements you enjoy in this image: the color, the shapes, the subject matter. And then use these qualities to inspire a new image of your own. Use watercolor or a medium of your choice inspired by this artist to create your art. How cool. Explorative questions that you can ask yourself. Did you notice something new about this painting? Did any frustrations arise while making this art? And how did you address them? And could this activity inspire you to visit art museums in a different way, right? So seeing them differently, looking at the art differently. Interesting. So that is what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. Good to see you, and many blessings to you, my dear. All righty. So I have reached the 3 hour mark. I do have 2 more donations. So I have Andrea will be up next. And then, hey, Crescent Moon, you'll be up after that. You're welcome, my friend. um, so that will end my 3 hour session. I did not get to any free readings this evening, but the good news is that tomorrow is a special day on Sundays. I'll be on from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. I do post the announcement usually about an hour before, which if you click on there and go in there, the chat is already active. You can put your questions early in there. That's a little secret. um, but you can do that. And then, so anywhere really like from 10 a.m. ish to 2 p.m. As long as you get your question in there, whatever I don't finish in that 3 hour stream, I go eat and take a break. And then I come back later in the afternoon. And I finish out everything, including free reading. So if you've been trying to get a free reading and I haven't been able to get to you, be sure to come tomorrow and I'll make sure you get a message from Spirit sometime tomorrow. I will finish up these last 2 and then I'll pin a comment with the timestamps that we've completed when I'm done with the stream as well. So thank you guys for your patience in getting to all of your readings here. Sorry, I saw the flashing back here. Woo, 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 woo. All right. So Andrea, we've got yours. Look, you got 30609. Look at those very magical numbers coming out there. So thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like here. And your question is, your boyfriend Jaime has been texting his ex very intimately very intimate texts, mind you. Can you tell me all the tea on this situation? Oh my gosh. Okay. Been living together for 5 years now and you're an Aries and he's Leo. Oh, that fire. Oh my God. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so what can you tell us about this situation? What is important for Andrea to know here? Okay. Below the surface. And this one too. And I wanted this one too. All right. Okay. All right. We'll find out what all this stuff is underneath here in a moment, but let's find out here. So, bottom of the deck, we do have the King of Coral, the King of Wands. Out of the cards to get, that's not such a bad card for this, Andrea, because the King of Wands, of course, that's your guys' fire energy, but it's sorry, got a piece of hair in my mouth. There's this kind of bridled, controlled passion with the king, because it's like if you watch the old movies, the knight, the prince, right, is the one that's unbridled, can't control themselves, can't control their passion, so they're all, sleeping around and doing all this stuff, right? But the king is different. They understand the nobility, they understand the importance of decisions. So I like that, there's intimate text and different things going on, but I don't feel like they've acted out in the physical world on any of it. By that, let's see what else comes in here. But I like that as the energy of the basis of the reading. What else do they want you to know here? We do have the Knight of Spheres. So, yeah, obviously, that there's been communication that's been going on here. That's movement of communication. We do have the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Spears, which is this energy of expectations equaling disappointment, right? And that's the thing about relationships is expectations suck the life out of it all because, when we meet someone, we have no expectations and they're this, we think they're amazing. Look how much amazingness there is, right? And then we start to date them and then we start dating exclusively and then we move in together. Look how less exciting each of us are because takes all of this just to get up to here. And this is like how much amazingness. That's why like the the life gets sucked out of relationships. And sometimes people get engaged and they get married and I go, why do they become less? And it's no, if we can get expectations down, um, because when we have all those expectations in a relationship, we start focusing on who someone's not being, and then we get more not instead of focusing on what we're grateful for in someone, and then we get more of that, and the not having becomes smaller because we're getting more of this. So we focus on what we love about something, what we have loved about something, and even sharing it with each other about what I love about someone and what I'm grateful for. That is what creates a bond. But that's why relationships drift apart too, right? And why we start looking, because especially exes, right? Because we used to have expectations on them, and then when we break up, there's no more expectations, and look, we see they're wonderful again, and they see us as wonderful again. We see each other as, wow, you're wonderful again. Yeah, until we leave someone and we end up with them, and then and we're like, they became unwonderful again until we leave. And then suddenly expectations are gone. We're like, wow, they look great again. What happened? This is the cycle that happens. And so it's a good awareness to be around all of that that's unfolding there. But um, I feel like that's why their ex seems attractive, because there are no expectations. Whereas when we're in a relationship, we've got all these expectations that are in our head, and we feel like we're working just to get up to zero. Where this other people in our lives, right, that don't have expectations, we feel like, wow, there's a lot more um, appreciation for who I am, right? So something to be aware of with that. We got the Wheel of Fortune. You know, it's a good energy of to look at this, and I feel like this is kind of advice, and then we'll get into the tea that you're looking for. But I feel like this is information you need to know, that this isn't happening by accident. This is happening for you. It's not happening to you. That's what the Wheel of Fortune says. That it's the tune of for me, the for tune, the fortune, and that sometimes, well, why would I want this? Because it is showing me something. It's a wake up call for me to look at the expectations I have on myself and the expectations I have on them and on the relationship. And this is a good wake up call for, do I want to try to change this between us? And I'm going to change these expectations I have on myself and appreciate myself more, focus on what I appreciate them. And it's like a time of we can transform our lives into one of gratitude instead of one of expectations. That's sucking the life out of so much things in our life and can change our life in so many beautiful ways. So I like this for you because it is happening for you. And if it leads to an ending, at least you'll learn from it and you won't take it into your new relationship. It's always for us in some way, somehow. But I feel like this is important for you to know. And then the last piece before we dive into the below the deck things here, yeah, we have the moon. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of unseen, a lot of things below the surface um, that we don't know that's going on within them and their emotions. A lot of stuff bubbling from their past that's bringing this stuff up, right? And it's for us too. So this moon energy, full moon energy, um, howling at the moon energy, you know, I feel like it's an opportunity, to really bring up the stuff that's below in our own self, and the because everything is a mirror for us. It's for me, like when I discovered that 3 out of the 5 relationships I had, that they were actually doing things outside of the relationship, not just talking. uh, Afterwards, I realized it was a mirror for me because I was cheating on myself with them. And what I mean by that is I was uh, my self worth, which you get from yourself up here, I was looking for my worth out here. So I was cheating on myself by trying to look for my worth not from myself, from other people. And so there is a great amount of reflection and things I can look at and understand, why did I want this to happen for me? What am I wanting to awaken within me to understand about myself, my fears, how I'm defining myself by other people's actions or non-actions, their words or their silence. And it's a good wake up call for me to understand me, right? So I like all that. That's good stuff. That's like the high, the high road, but the higher energy from above, and what we can do that. And then let's take a look here at what's below the surface and going on here. What else they want you to know here? So we have the 7 of Spears, which we already knew that. The 7 of Swords is the lying, the deceit. We already have that. The feelings of betrayal. We already know that that's going on there, um, and it's understanding what's going on, with all of that. We do have the Knight of Coral. Here's the Knight of Wands. This is that, um, like I was talking about here, this expression of passion. But since we had the King of Wands here, we already know that they haven't acted on it. In the physical world, it doesn't feel like, besides texting and whatever, sexting or whatever, but there's this energy below the surface that if something doesn't change, that may not be the case here soon. Queen of Spears is the balance between head and heart. So there is this, again, trying to discover this balance, but also there's this energy of, realizing that I'm the perfect person for me. I'm the one I've been looking for all my life. Someone in the outside world can't be that for me. Only I can be that for myself. So expecting someone else to give me something that I can only give myself is not fair. And that, again, this is that reflection backwards of, and that's why if we think, well, I'm not happy with someone, they're not fulfilling me, we can try as many people as we want, and we're not going to find that. It's going to be momentarily feeling like it is, but then it doesn't last for very long at all. It's like eating American Chinese food. We eat it and we're hungry an hour later. It's not fulfilling because we're looking in the wrong place. So they are looking outside of themselves, but the only person that can make us happy is our own self. And then the mirror that we're seeing in other people changes too. Yeah, Ace of Pearls, Ace of Cups. It's all about self-love. That's what this energy is here. Yep, and the death and rebirth. Don't kill him, please. But this is a time of transformation that's coming in here. And that's why, with the Wheel of Fortune being the 10, the major arcana 10, it's the fate's will. This is coming up here at this time in your life to help you see what you want to see about yourself so that it can transform. So, there's always the reason why the human characters are doing what they're doing because of what humans do. But the um, higher reason, the real reason behind the scenes, under the surface, is for us, for our nudging and transformation, our personal transformation, which is that death and rebirth card too. So hopefully that helps there, Andrea. Let's see what your art therapy card brings in here, right? You're like, I'm going to need some therapy after this. Let's take a look here. I know, trust me, my dear. Went through it several times, but it's I'm so glad that I experienced those things, because it did allow me to be free from all that restriction I had myself on. So, and then your fortune cookie is a soothing object, card number 63. And the goal for this is to calm through mindfulness. It is sculpture. It's 10 minutes. And it says, knead a piece of clay into a ball. Breathe deeply and notice how the repetitive motion and kneading action make you feel. This activity can be helpful anytime that you're feeling intense emotions. When you feel more relaxed, flatten this clay ball slightly into a shape resembling a river rock. And when dry, paint it with a calming color if you like. Hold on to it when you need to feel calm. Hint, you can even carry it with you. So we do have here this, here's a picture of an example of it. Questions that you can ask yourself through this is, was there a time this week that you felt stressed or overwhelmed? Yeah. Could this activity be a regular stress reliever? You know, like, only if I can throw it at someone, right? Put it in the freezer. No, don't do that. Can you access this calm feeling by breathing deeply and holding this object? So, some good calming, soothing energy for you there, my dear. So, hopefully, we have that. All right. So, that is what they have for you, Andrea. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And then, so crescent moon, whoops, hold on here. There we go. So crescent moon, here is your time stamp there. Thank you for your donation and your earlier donations too today. So let's give that a love and a like there. This will be my last reading for this session at over 3 hours. So I'll be closing down after this. I will be back tomorrow, though, between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Mountain Time. Tomorrow is special that whatever I don't finish in the 3-hour session, free readings and all, I do come back on later in the day and finish everything out. So if I wasn't able to get to your free reading today, be sure to come back tomorrow. We'll make sure you get a message tomorrow. All right, Crescent Moon, exciting to see you twice in a day, right? Woo woo. So, sipping on some of that BZT. Please be nosy. So, a read on S and U for July and August. Also, a follow-up of when we'll spend some alone time together. And does Spirit still see us going on a getaway out of town in August, September? All right. Excuse me. Hiccups. All right. All righty. So S and U for July. Okay. And then also for August. Okay. I feel like we're going to dive in more here. Follow up on spend time together, and does Spirit scenes going on way out of town in August, September. Okay. So when let's shuffle these up here. So long time update on that, and a getaway out of town August to September. So a getaway. That it? Oh my gosh! All right. So we'll take a look here. The energy on the bottom of the deck does appear here. They've got the Devil card here. We got the Death card here too. They want to bring up here. So this is their underlying energy. There is a bit of a transformation that's going on, and a lot of challenge, shaking and rattling of their world right now. So there does seem to be some big change that's happening. If not in their physical world. It's starting in their beliefs and thoughts and work too, with the devil card being the ruler over the 10th house. So just some little extra information that's flowing below the surface of all this too. So July and August, let's see what we've got going on here. We do have the 10 of coral, the 10 of wands. We also have the temperance card, balancing out of opposites and the balance of some energy, and the page of spears, the page of swords. So I do feel like there is communication that's coming in here, some new communication with the page of swords between the two of you here in July and August. The 10 of wands is a change of energy. It's the change, and we've got this ending and beginning energy of, oh, finally a balance coming in. It feels like their life and like things are so much action, so much activity I'm feeling in their life is, it's like I see like one of those little bars where the activity is going lower and lower and lower and lower. In their life, it's like there's one bar that's going like this, which then brings activity and action between the two of you going up. So it's like as their work life and as all this massive change that I feel like they're experiencing, it balances out. It's like as this goes down, this goes up. So I like that for you. Increased communication that's coming in here. Just sitting in their energy. What is it going on? A lot of work restructuring. A lot of work restructuring. A lot of activity. I even feel like doubling up of responsibilities to where they're like leaving a position and getting into another one where they got to finish all this up because no one's replacing it. It's like this position, maybe not position, but these duties are being absorbed into everyone's duties. And so they're kind of doing double duty for a little bit till things balance out, if that makes sense. But they've got a lot of that going on, and I feel like that is a lot of what's influencing things. Let's see what else we have coming in here. When will you spend alone time together? Let's look at that one here. You got the 7 of spears, the 7 of swords. And what is this energy? Because this is about what is this about? Because it's needing to overcome some thoughts and beliefs that have been deceiving myself around. That has to happen first. And because there's the struggle with being untrue and being, what is this? Being untrue, not wanting to be deceiving or lying or sneaking. There's like this needing to, but it's not like I need to overcome my feelings of being okay with that or not. It's about that I need to eliminate that it's not this. I need to be true. This is like some energy that's coming in here. It's like I just need to be honest with someone and just end something so that I can then do that. But that's what has to happen first. Any kind of when energy. Let me see. See if they'll give me anything here more on that. But I feel like that's something that has to be faced, if that makes sense. Let's see here. What is this? Well, we've got the 6 of treasure, the 6 of pentacles. Codependent relationship. Do they have a codependent relationship they need to end? Oh, the 7. Underneath that's the 7 of pentacles, which is a bit of a slowness coming in here. So what has changed here? Let's see here. Because there is the slowness that's happening suddenly now. All right, let's see what else we got here. Just weird energy. But let's see, are we still going to go out of town in August or September? Let's look at that. We have the Five of Spears, the Five of Swords, and the Knight of Treasure. Well, Knight of Knight of Pentacles, another slow-moving energy like the Seven of Pentacles. Seems like right now, suddenly now there's this conflicting energy that's kicked in. It's the thing about the future, right? All it takes is a little bit of a change, and then everything goes off into a weird little journey here. Which I'm like, what happened? It was going so well, and now there's like the devil card has shown up, right? There's like throwing the wrench into the mix, the shaking and the rattling, this death and this rebirth, these changes that have hit here. Hmm. All right. I'm gonna move all these over here for a sec because I just want to look and see what can we know about all this. I know we've had, sorry, my butt has fallen asleep. 3.5 hours sitting in the same spot. I'm not getting any younger, I don't think. Let's see here. What? I know we've had changes in astrology that could have activated things, but will this realign based on current energies? Do we see a realignment? Is this a temporary halt? What can you let us know? All right. We'll do those at least here. Yeah, there's, what is this? Yeah, the Eight of Coral, the Eight of Wands. There is a lot of energy, a lot of movement of energy. That does tell me that's a lot of astrological energy that is flowing in here. With Mercury going into Leo, that's the uprooting of a lot of communication energy. Let's see, what can we know here? Is it temporary? We've got Judgment, which is a calling to see things from a higher perspective. Okay. We do have the Two of Spears, the Two of Swords, which is conflict between head and heart. Okay. We do have the Two of Pearls, the Two of Cups. So this power of choice energy coming in, what's this last one? And the Wheel of Fate. Well, we can trust that the wheels of fate are turning here. But there is the Two of Spears and the Two of Pearls, which does tell me that there are choices that can be made that will bring it back into alignment too, because it's like two different settings. It's like a pendulum. It can swing back into the other one here, and the Wheels of Fate will be turning again here too, because we do have this retrograde goes through August 11th, I think, is what if I remember. It's like it gets out of its post shadow and all of that. We do move into Leo energy next week, so the sun is changing signs, which can, again, impact that energy. But with this Eight of Wands, it does feel like there's just a lot of things going on here. This Judgment card is, there's something spawned that has made them look at things from a higher perspective, which is having them a battle between their head and their heart, making different mental and emotional choices. But that Wheel of Fortune does tell you, of course, that it's always for us, that it's always best for us. It's the tuna for you, right? And so we can trust going, well, all right, the wheels are continuing to spin, the gears are turning. So who knows if that's going to, well, things are here, but is it going to stay there, or is something going to click and it's going to click back? There's a possibilities here with these twos in the middle. And with all of this, all these changes, the Judgment card has two X's, the Wheel of Fortune is an X. It's endings and beginnings, endings and beginnings, endings and beginnings. There's all this activity. It's almost just like close our eyes, take a big deep breath, and peek every once in a while. So, I don't know what to tell you with all this crescent moon. It just feels like everything kind of just went into hold your horses mode for a minute. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in with this art therapy. See if we get any more clarity through here, right? Appreciate your investigative work. Let's see here. What? Okay, this one. The authentic me. Interesting. Card number 31. And this one is the goal is to explore who you are. The medium is writing. And it says list values that are important to you. Wow, so this is like that devil card is questioning our values and getting clarity around it. So list values that are important to you, and then circle 3 values that stand out as those you would like to strengthen. Pick one value to focus on today. Consider how you can direct your life toward this value and set boundaries when you feel as though you are straying. Hint is create a reminder card with this word written on it. So they kind of have an example here of what you can do. You write down everything here and circle 3. Whoops, sorry, there's a glare there. And then here's the reminder card. What does it say? Curiosity. Interesting. Exploratory questions you can ask yourself around the situation. Was it easy or difficult to identify important values? Why do you think this is? What is one way you can embrace this value today? And what gets in the way of you feeling authentically yourself? Some good reflective energy. And that's, when we get slow moving cards like the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, the slowness always happens for us, right? Even though it feels like someone's trying to torture us. Why are you being so mean to me? But it happens for us. It's that wheel of fortune that when things slow down, it gives us an opportunity to question the things that bubble up within us so that we can release some of this lower vibrational things that allows us to see things from a higher perspective, allows us to raise our vibration to where we invite experiences and relationships and situations that match that energy instead of the other stuff that we're tired of experiencing, right? So, it's that trust. All right, creator, the pause happens for a reason, because the bridge is out. And if we kept going on the train, we'd end up in the gorge, right? So we stopped to repair the track so we can continue to move forward to go where we're wanting to go. But there's a pause for now. So I'm sorry. What's that? What is it all about? So hopefully that helps a little bit, Crescent Moon. Thank you again for your donation. Hang in there. And thank you everyone so much for all the thumbs up and your patience in getting to readings. I did not get to any free readings this evening. And I'm so sorry that I did not. Um, I am in a period of trying to balance. I used to come back on and finish out everything, but I've had a reminder that it's important for me to balance for my own health and everything else. So I will be back tomorrow, though. If you get your question in between, actually, we'll post it around 10 a.m., but I'll start my stream from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you put your question in any time when the chat's available from around 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., I will get to your reading sometime tomorrow. Whatever I don't finish in that 3-hour session, I'm going to go take a break and eat and rest, then come back on, and then I'll finish out all the readings for that day. So if you didn't get a reading this weekend, I did get to everything last night in Friday evening session. Thursday, I didn't get to any free readings. This morning, I didn't get to any free readings. And then tonight. So please come back tomorrow if you are wanting a free reading. We'll make sure you get a message from Spirit. Till then, remember, every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. We'll see you soon.